Hey, hey. Skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang. Skull all the way to the bowl, man. My team about to go get a ring. We don't care what your team doing, man. They ain't messing with the perp gang. It's our year, time to get this ring. Bring it home back to the skull gang. Skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang. Skull all the way to the bowl, man. My team about to go get a ring. We don't care what your team doing, man. They ain't messing.
What up, what up, what up, what up, everybody? Welcome to Purple Vibes in the Zone. My man Mike's in the background trying to get his stuff situated. He'll be on very shortly. We got my man Zoe in the building. What up, Zoe? How you feeling?
What up, though? What up, though?
Feeling good, feeling good.
Yeah, man, I'm blessed, man. Highly favored, man. You know that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, Mike, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up when you're ready to be joined in. All right. But yeah, hey, let's give a couple shout outs. We got My Worthless Opinion in the building. Hey,
Worthless, what up with you? What
up?
Yeah,
hey, it was a pleasure getting to watch the first half of the game in person with My Worthless Opinion today. It was a good first half. We got Bob Sweet in the building. Mr.
Up,
I want to mock. Hey, Bob, I hope you're ready for tomorrow. It's draft day, baby.
Yeah, Bob,
draft day.
Yeah, it's ready.
It is draft day. It is about
My
to go
boy
down.
Mike, what up?
We got Tony Bell in the
What
building.
up?
And we got Mike Sports Vibes. Thank you for vibing with
Sports
me.
Here.
Woo-woo.
What's good? What's up with it?
How you feeling, man?
Oh man, feeling great, man. God is good.
Yeah. Hey, we got Holden in the building. Couple more people popping in. We got Barber 1975 in the building.
Hey, man.
My
Hey.
God.
Always and forever, Miss Sarah. Sarah in the
Tell
building.
Sarah not tonight, man. Tell Sarah not tonight, man. Not tonight, Sarah.
Joe said not tonight, Sarah.
Not tonight, man. Please, not tonight, man.
We got Sodak Kid. What up, Sodak? Skull Mafia, Purple Gang got his hotel room booked. It's gonna turn up on Skull Fest. Yeah.
Whoa.
It's about to go down on the the 9th, September 9th. Yeah, there's gonna be everybody in the town. We're gonna turn up.
Got to.
So you guys watched the game today? I know you did.
Yeah, I watched. I ain't gonna lie to you. I watched some of it though. I seen Jared Hall. My boy Jared Hall bought out today. My boy Jared Hall did what he should have did in week 2. He should have started in week 2 of the preseason, man.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah, talk that talk, Zo.
Like everybody thought they wanted a Trey Lance. Trey Lance is a Jared Hall, man. Trey Lance ain't show us nothing. Why y'all want a Trey Lance here in Minnesota? We got Jared Hall, who had a better college career than Trey Lance. Jared Hall looked good today, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I liked today. He was mobile. He threw some good passes. He looked like he was in control. Jared Hall looked like a night and a day from week 1 of the preseason, man. He looked good, man. And shout out to my boy D Woods. What's the deal with?
Hey, D Woods in the building.
I like
it.
it.
I know.
I like that, man.
I know D Woods is ready to get up in here. Hey, what up, Norpheus?
Norpheus, what's the deal? I liked it though when I seen the Jared Hall, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man.
Hey, and you know what's crazy? Just a week difference from working with the 2s than being put in with the 3s. You could see the difference.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, Yogi. That boy looked as good. Imagine him with the 1s.
Yeah.
No, we that's a little going too far, but
I'm dead serious. Like he might look sloppy.
Hey, we got Tony Bell.
But look, no.
Hold on. Hold on. Gang signs are all up in the what's going on here?
Facts there. He looked way better than Trey Lance. And I said that in my other video. Trey Lance ain't shit compared to Jared Hall for real.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it real. That first possession, they went 10 plays for 75 yards and got that touchdown by McBride. He looked comfortable. He had poise in the pocket. He made some tough throws on the go. on the run, and I just like him, man. He has a lot of. He's accurate. His accuracy is better than I thought. Throughout the game, he showed some. There was some good and some bad, but it was more good than any day. If he was to work with the twos more, I think that he would be the second string quarterback. That's just my opinion, but
he needs to be second string quarterback. We don't want to see no.
Nick Boland. Hey,
let me ask you a question, Mike. If Kirk Cousins got to go out for family mercy, do you want to see Nick Butler in the game for real?
Nope. I don't want to see none of them.
They will put Nick Mullins.
Hold on. What you mean, Mike? You don't see nobody?
I want to see. I mean, if I had to choose, it's gonna be Jaren Hall. But I just want to see. I just wish I could have seen a lot more. I wish they would have played him. I wish they would have played him against the twos. The first preseason game. You know what I'm saying? I wish they would have played him with first preseason.
Hey, y'all, we got D Woods in the house. You know.
What's up, D Woods?
You know my chocolate brother from another mother had to get
What up?
And what I mean about I don't want to see none of them. I want to just see Kirk Cousins be Captain Kirk, be first cousin, and make it to the Super. So all right, so answer this. So who's better, Kirk Cousins or Jaren Hall? Because you make it seem like Jaren Hall is.
No,
I mean we didn't see that much.
We all know Kirk is better, but
okay,
Jaren Hall might bring
a better chance.
He might bring he might bring a different flavor to the table that we.
That's true. That's true.
Here's the thing: nobody knows Hall at all. You know how to defend Kirk Cousins. The only thing that would work in Hall's favor is nobody knows him. So you could actually have an offense where, guess what? Your quarterback's on the move and it's positive yards because Hall is mobile. With Kirk, you know what you get with Kirk. That's it.
That's a beautiful thing. And that's what I like about him. And even though he was a 5th round pick from BYU, I just loved his potential. But I just wish Kevin O'Connor would just play him the first preseason game.
I got a question. I got a question for everybody. We jumped out 14-0, right?
Right.
How did you?
Huh?
How did we lose?
Our third.
Did you? Okay. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. Did you notice after we jumped out 14-0, they went back into that playbook from last year where they didn't do nothing?
Kevin O'Connell showed up. That's what happened.
Thank you. That was Kevin O'Connell. That was O'Connell. It's like they got a lead and didn't do nothing. They didn't keep the foot on the pedal again. And this is preseason. Come on now.
Tony, you talking truth because we were talking about the last time we was on there, and I was trying to tell Cass before like this team cannot not show up in the second and third quarters, and that's what happened again. They get a league, and it seems like Kevin O'Connell get to the point where he can't call plays. Like we can't do that.
You can't do that this year. Not with the schedule we got. You can't do that this year.
Hold on.
It just looked nice seeing him like pass out of the pocket and scramble. I was like, yo, this is what I want to see from my quarterback. They had Hall running those play action passes where you roll out.
Hall was executing them. Hall looked comfortable.
Accuracy. The accuracy surprised me. I said, yo, he got some touch on his throws. I'm like, okay, I want to see more of that. But
But here's a problem that you put them behind. If your second string offensive line ain't very good, you're just gonna stick them behind the third string. That ain't gonna be much better.
That's your question. That answers your question, though. The reason why we couldn't do nothing because of that offensive line, third string, and our defense. They didn't play nobody. At a certain point, they didn't really play nobody. They took everybody out. I was surprised they had Jay Ward still in there all game because he was making plays all game.
That boy bought out.
Jay Ward.
Yeah,
I've been trying to tell y'all about Jay Ward. I've been trying to tell y'all. I like Jay Ward. He gonna be special teams for the most part because we got a lot of competition. The safety room is just
you
know what I mean. But
I gotta say this though before we go any further. D Wood, I'm happy you on here, bro.
What up, Zoe?
D Wood,
for me, Zoe.
But look though, D Wood, what are people talking about now? A TJ Hawkinson trade.
Yeah,
you're right. Talking about it now.
You're right.
Okay, you know what? I got info on that from my guy that works for the Vikings.
I was saying all along.
We might be in some trouble with that.
Wait, Tony, you gonna say that Kwesi ain't doing his job? That's what it's about.
Kwesi is handcuffed.
So what? Like, but I don't get it though. Like
talk D Woods.
like I don't get it though, right? Because it's like I'm at this point though, like I've been like pro Quasi, pro KOC or whatever. I understand they're in the second league, they're in the second year, but like low key Quasi a sucker because I just feel like this though, like Rick Spielman. If you look at the Rick Spielman regime, we never had any holdouts. We didn't deal with this shit, right?
Here's
all
the
players.
Here's the thing. Here's the difference between Spielman and Quasi. Rick Spielman had complete and total control of the football operations. So Rick Spielman was giving out money like it was candy. And plus we had guys that were on like their rookie contracts.
Yeah.
So whatever money we gave them was like their first big contract, but it was a lot of money. And plus a lot of the money was kicked down the road in like, what is it called?
4 years.
Yeah, it was kicked down the road. So they kicked a ton of money down the road. And they gave a lot of signing bonuses.
Yeah.
But since Quasi's got it now, this should have been everybody's cue that it was going to be different because they said Quasi's in charge, but they've got a committee that he has to go through for all transactions. He's got somebody that he's got to go to. That's why Ryan Pace didn't take the job.
That ain't gonna work. Like it don't work that way. Like
I know that, and you know that. But guess what?
Like you trade for a guy like T.J. Hockenson with for the second round pick. You already knew when you traded him that he was gonna be in a contract year, and the situation was gonna come up. So your dumb ass shouldn't have been fucking trying to re-sign him.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I'm gonna give Vikings some credit here. Here's what I've been told. Hockenson wants to get paid more money than Kelsey.
So what?
Ain't no freaking way.
No, he's not Kelsey. No.
Peep game, right? Y'all got to understand, like, it ain't Hockenson who want that money like that. It's the agent. These agents push these numbers up so they can.
Okay, and guess what? His agent's going to get him pushed out of Minnesota into another team.
Yeah, but as soon as Kelsey
don't say that, Tony. Don't say that.
What? Why not? It's the truth. It's the truth.
Okay, Tony.
It's the truth.
Don't say that.
Here's the biggest problem. If these players were these smart mofos that they think they are, they can negotiate their own contracts, but they get a middleman to do it, and the middleman wants his cut. Well, guess what? The middleman gonna get you screwed more times than not.
It ain't just like he want his cut. It's like this though, right? If I'm Zoe's agent, right? I'm gonna use Zoe for example. And Zoe, you play tight end. I'm gonna try to say I'm gonna get you the highest paid tight end in the history at that point, because now I can go to Mike, who's a cornerback, and I can say, Mike, look, I already got my other client right here. He the highest paid tight end, and I can do the same thing for you. These agents don't give a shit about these players. They're just trying to boost the numbers up for themselves.
And that's true. These players are nothing but disposable income for these agents.
Look, though,
because wasn't at one point, I'm sorry to cut you up, but wasn't at one point Kirk Cousins was like the highest paid at one point?
He was.
The highest paid.
Harrison was real close to it, right?
Like, yeah. But it don't matter because when Kelsey signed his deal, he gonna be the highest paid. So what I'm saying is like the Vikings shouldn't even care if he want to reset the market. Let him reset the market, because when the next tight end is behind him, here's
the thing though, the Vikings
he's gonna be lower paid anyway.
Here's what you're missing. The Vikings can't afford it because guess what? Kirk leaves this year. They still owe him money next year. They owe Daniil Hunter money next year. They owe Dalvin Cook money next year. They still owe people money next year.
Hey, Tony.
Huh?
That's why I said trade Daniil Hunter and trade T.J. Hockenson. But people on the chat were calling me crazy. People was calling me crazy.
Hey, so you ain't crazy, bro. You ain't crazy.
Well, you know what?
As of right now, I say trade TJ, trade JJ, trade KJ, trade CJ. Hey.
Okay.
There's a J in their name.
Hold on. Before we trade anybody, the first person that has to be gone is Kirk Cousins. You can't tell me you're going to trade Justin Jefferson before you trade Kirk Cousins.
Me personally, right now, though, Mike, what I'm seeing, I don't believe in this front office anymore. I just don't.
Okay, you know what? Here's the thing.
I'll be the first one out of here before.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. This is what you guys are missing. You guys should have never put faith in this front office when the whole Jim Harbaugh thing went down.
That's true.
You should have never when Harbaugh went down, and then when Ryan Pace went to Chicago instead of Minnesota, that should have told you something right there. Kwesi is a puppet, plain and simple.
Yes, man.
So don't get mad at Kwesi. Kwesi's only being allowed to do what he can do. Also, they're good PR guys. They spread the positive PR. They give the good pressers. Everything's positive. There's nothing negative. That's them.
But on the back,
So what we gonna do with TJ? So what we gonna do with him? Are we trade on for what's the
here's the thing with TJ. TJ's under contract, so TJ got to play.
Yeah,
but he could be a pain in the ass the whole year.
I know.
But on the back end, though, look though, like listen, man. I said this shit 3 months ago, man. TJ Hawkinson won a new contract. We can now afford TJ, Christian Darrisaw, and JJ, man. So why would you even trade for TJ in the first place? That was a dumb trade from the get-go.
And first of all, never trade in the division. I don't care who it is.
Yeah,
no, it's like he keeps doing it though. What is wrong with him? In the draft, he does it. It's just
he is not a football guy. That's everybody should have looked at that right away. The Vikings hyped him up to be this smart analytical guy. Right. The Vikings are going to go in this direction.
You need a football guy to run to be.
We have no football people running the Vikings.
Me.
Who's the Bears?
So, let's go in there and take over, man. Let's go and kick down some doors and take over, man. I'm with you. Let's go.
We ain't no way to trouble with that.
Trade D Wood.
Nah, they already know about me. They ain't gonna let me in there.
Hey,
so
who's that? Look, y'all might call me crazy or whatever, but my whole thing about my whole podcast or whatever is I'm gonna make you think about something that's completely different. I'm not gonna say what everybody else is saying. When everybody else is zig, I'm gonna zag the other way because there's a lot of other things that players don't that people don't talk about, like the Trey Lance situation, right? People talking about trading with Trey Lance. We can't even re-sign TJ Hawkinson. So you're gonna trade for a guy that's a quarterback that only have 2 years left on his deal. He can hold out the next season because we don't have a quarterback that's signed after Kirk Cousins. So you can call me crazy. I just speak the real. That's just
we're in a bad situation right now, y'all.
We're in a
bad situation.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
I said shit. They call me crazy. And D Woods one though, and Mike. You want to trade everybody?
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna put it out there. Zoe, you are crazy because you won't know no Viking history before 1998. So your ass crazy. But
hey, that's me too. So I guess we two peas in the pot.
Okay, so you both ready for the loony bin. That's all I got to say.
Hey, sign me up right now. Get my straight jacket ready. Give me a 2X. I'm ready to go.
Okay. All right. We straight. All right. But yeah, here's a problem with a lot of the Viking fans and with the Vikings spinning the PR machine. They're putting such a positive on the team that everybody's taking them at their word, which is the problem.
I don't take
right.
Word.
That's the biggest problem. You have to, if you know the sport, if you know anything about sports, not everything is duckies and bunnies, as they call it.
Yeah,
there is some problems.
You can't afford TJ, Christian, and JJ, man. The shit was done from the get-go.
So that means
in the Minnesota Vikings. But look though, Mike, they brought in Josh Oliver.
Right.
To me, he gonna replace TJ.
I feel that
way.
I
said that from the
Johnny Munt was number 2, right?
Yeah, Johnny Munt's number 2.
Yeah.
Well, you know what though? Change that around because you know what? If Hawkinson holds out, Nick Muse moves up to number 2.
I love Nick Muse. I don't know about him being number 2, but
he'll be at.
But hey, Tony, you know my whole issue with the TJ Hawkinson situation was if we got JJ and we got a dog at number 2 wide receiver. How many targets would TJ really get for us to pay him 17 or 20 million a year? It make no sense.
And we don't know who the quarterback's going to be either.
We don't.
It's a guarantee Kirk Cousins is gone. So celebrate.
It ain't no guarantee.
It's no guarantee that Kirk Cousins is gone. It's no guarantee. No. It's no guarantee.
The thing about the regime, especially right now, stat quo is what sells tickets. That's how they feel.
Gosh, yo.
It's everything what D was just said. It's everything I also told you when I first got on this.
I'm feeling that now.
podcast.
Like real talk though. Zoe, you was right. Tony, you was right.
About what though? About what?
You my guy.
What would be right about?
Right now, like I'm looking at the situation so much differently now.
Thank you,
like,
bro.
Like low key, I'm hot because it's just like damn. Why we couldn't just fired Zimmer and kept Rick? Like
That wasn't going to work anyway. That wasn't going to work. No, that wasn't. Zimmer had already fallen out with management, and Spielman was the one calling all the shots for football.
We should have got Ryan Poles. That's his name?
Yeah,
we should have got him. That's who we should have got.
You know why Poles did? You know why Poles left?
He didn't want to be handcuffed, man.
They wouldn't let him. Poles wanted to blow up the team, and they wouldn't let him do it.
But that's what we should have did. That's what
I wanted to do. I wanted the whole team up.
Put it this way: I wanted Poles, and I wanted Harbaugh.
I've been one below the whole.
Man.
Hey, though, Tony, you know why you want those two guys right there? Those two football guys who know football.
Thank you.
Not some stock market guy coming to football playing money ball. Like,
well, and here's the thing: Mark Wilf knows nothing about football. Ziggy Wilf knows nothing about football. The one that told them everything was Rick Spielman. Rick Spielman was shocked he was even fired because he was in Mark's ear about the football part. Now, here's the problem. Your CEO or COO, whatever the hell he is Andrew Miller. Andrew Miller comes from Major League Baseball with the Toronto Blue Jays, and they played Moneyball. Yeah. And how did that work out for him? Not well at all. You've got a bunch of people, and now it's all about their number crunching big time.
Keep my boy Harbaugh in the
and now it's all about ticket sales.
Yeah, we're in a tough position.
They won't come out and say we're in a rebuild.
Keep Harbaugh in Michigan, man. Keep him in Michigan, man.
So shut the hell up. Anyway, and you know how that fell apart, right?
Yeah, he didn't want Kirk.
No. Here, one of the reasons Harbaugh didn't get the job here was because there's a minority owner here in Minnesota whose alma mater is Michigan and didn't want the Vikings to take Harbaugh from Michigan.
Politics.
Hey, look,
Politics.
I ain't mad at that. Keep Harbaugh in Michigan, man.
So shut the hell up.
we know why.
Zo, shut the hell up.
Hey, Raps in the building. Raps in the building.
Shout out to Rap.
Hey, Rap. Zo's a Michigan fan too, like you and
Who
it's
my video
all about
at, yo?
Penn State. It's all about Penn State. We ain't worrying about none of that now.
Boy, we gonna bet that week, Mike. I bet we beat y'all by 14 points or more.
Nah, ain't gonna happen.
I'm gonna give you 14 points.
Hey, I'm gonna bet I'm gonna whoop y'all ass in that draft tomorrow.
Fuck dog, man. Y'all can't.
Hey, we gonna.
Is Tony in the fantasy football tomorrow?
No, he's in the.
I'm in the other league.
Oh yeah, you lucky.
Yeah.
He was in it though. I seen his name.
I'm in it to win it, baby. I'm in it. You know, y'all ain't ready yet, man. I'm in it for sure.
You know, I'll give Zoe credit because he don't know nothing before 1998 of anything. So he knows his shit right now. But if it comes to history, he dumb as a box of rocks.
Hey, but he ain't been to draft no old players. He's drafting players that's playing right now. So it don't matter.
With his luck, though, he'll draft a bunch of players that get hurt.
And he goes, me?
I am putting that curse on you.
Wait till tomorrow. And the crazy part is tomorrow, I ain't got no draft board or nothing.
You just winging it?
Yeah, that's really the only way to do it. Is wing it.
Freestyle.
I got 2 screens going. Like,
I ain't got nothing.
I'm technical with my draft.
I'm going off who I see.
Oh, D was
Detroit Lions.
Huh? Here you go, that Detroit Lions. I don't know where they get that from, though. And Tony, they crazy with that Detroit Lions shit. I'm letting run with that, though. D-Wood crazy. I watched D-Wood whole video yesterday. I watched his whole video for 9 minutes. He can't watch a 5-minute video, man. That's crazy.
I'm about to email ESPN Fantasy because they would not let me change my name to Vikes and Dykes.
Oh.
Yogi, it's ESPN. What do you think?
We
That's kinda
have an
homophobic.
actual player
What that shit
who
called
died,
homophobic?
and you won't let me change my name to that.
They're like,
No,
they
that's
said,
kinda
nah.
homophobic right there.
That's you.
You talking about the dykes, nah. You talking about the LBFGT, whatever they call it. You
He's
tripping,
an
nah.
actual player,
You
and they
might
would
get
not let
canceled.
me
You might
change
get
my
our
name
whole,
to it.
hey Yogi, you might get our whole show canceled talking about the LBGT.
I know, man.
You can't do that.
We gonna go to our YouTube channels. It's gonna be like access denied.
I'm gonna be bad as hell.
Hey, they powerful, y'all.
I'm like, that, I'm like, I ain't say shit. I
Yo,
ain't say
they powerful. That's all I'm gonna
LBGT.
say.
Except for last week, he was all "fuck YouTube." Just put his phone up to the screen.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
I was on one last
He
week.
Woods, I'm calling you out, man.
What up, man?
So what's the record going to be this season, man? Because it seems like you
What?
got a lot of negativity vibe, a lot of negative vibes going through.
It ain't no. Let's back that up. It ain't negative.
You
I'm just
being
calling it
real.
what it is. I'm just being real. I'm just
You being real.
just
What's
being
the
real.
record going to be?
I still say players gonna play. Players they can go out there and and half do it. They're not worried about what management doing. They're gonna play. So I'm still thinking it's gonna be 12-5. Straight up. 12-5.
Zoe, what we got, Zoe? What's the record, bro?
I give him about 9 or 10 wins for real. What you looking like that for? What you got?
Tony, what you got?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
7-10.
Woo.
Damn.
Oh, you know what, Tony? I like that because maybe everybody can get fired. They can start all over again.
No, they ain't gonna get fired yet.
Oh, they gonna start over again because I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That last year draft class is ass.
Yogi, what you got, Yogi? What's the record, bro?
10-7.
Put it this way: 9-8.
I got 12.
9-8 or 10-7 wins the NFC North. That's how bad that division is.
I got 12.
Hell, they could even win the division at 7-10. That's the fucked up part.
Hey,
that's how bad this division is.
Will Rap got the division? What do you think the Vikings gonna do?
Hey, Rap, what do you think the Vikings records are going to be? Let us know in the comments, or you could jump on. Just let me know.
This year, as far as this year goes, you're not going to have. And today was a good view to me. That KOC is going to be doing the same type of play calling he was last year, getting a big lead.
Man.
That bothers me big time. And you can't do that this year with the likes of, let's see, Philly, Kansas City, the other teams. You can't. You just can't. And and they didn't improve the offensive line.
Hey, that was crazy to me though. Like, why you ain't draft no offensive lineman? And the O-line was horrible last year.
Well, here's the thing. Not only do you not improve the offensive line, but you bring back one of the problems with the offensive line and give him another contract with more money.
Bradford. Not Bradford. Bradbury.
I ain't gonna lie. Bradbury played.
Man, you said Bradford.
I said Bradford.
You sound like a Philly fan over there. Both of y'all at the top. You know, got the Eagle fan over here. I'm just saying, man. You an Eagle fan over there. We know you a Sixer fan. What's going on? Talk about Bradford.
Hold on. Hey, first of all, hold on. Zone, let me get him, Zone. First of all, wasn't Bradford on the Vikings?
That's true.
Didn't we get rid of a first-round pick for him to play like 6 games to get hurt? I just had to break that down real quick.
Spies.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Who is Spies, though? Like, she had
I hate the Eagles.
Oh, man.
Like, who is Spy? Like, I keep, like, no matter what y'all, I feel like D Wood. I just keep the shit real, bro.
I'm with you.
And I said the TJ Hawkins shit ain't make no sense.
You called it a couple of weeks ago.
Hey, you called it, though. You did call it, though.
You called it a couple of weeks ago.
Thank you. I'm happy y'all told. That's all I wanted to hear. Thank you. Yeah. I'm happy for that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Norpheus brings up a good point. I mean, Oliver does change that offense because of what he says. I mean, so
Oliver could be a number 1 tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm saying. So why the fuck we gonna pay TJ $20 million for?
So Tony, if let's just say hypothetically speaking, if there was a TJ Hawkinson trade out there, what would you get back in what team?
I ain't no Lion fan. She talking about Mike.
Oh God.
Hey, Zo, don't put me into that, man.
No,
you know I don't mess with the Lions at all, man.
For
They only have one good player in their whole history, and that's Barry Sanders.
I'm just
Everybody else.
curious.
She got you
For-
on the Eagles, though.
for Hawkinson,
For
I don't
Hawkinson.
like no damn Eagles.
Hey, you know what I'm saying, man, not me.
you could probably get a 2 for him.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
but here's the thing: he's a tight end, and they're a dime a dozen, just like wide receivers.
That
And
was
he's already
a
in a
dumb
contract
trade, man.
situation
That
too.
was a
Like
dumb ass
that means the
trade.
next team would have to sign him. He would
Yeah, and
to
they would have to
extend
sign him. They would have to sign
extend
him.
So
Yeah.
That's why I came up with the Browns.
no, they won't do it because they got too much money tied up in
They got Njoku.
They got Njoku. Yeah.
And they don't use tight ends all like that, though.
So I think we need to trade TJ for a guard, for the best guard we can get.
No,
Where
we-
you gonna get it from though?
You're not gonna.
I
Nobody.
don't know.
You're-
I just think that's the only option
No-
we really have.
No team is gonna give up a good interior lineman for a whiny tight end.
Nope.
That's why I said trading for a draft pick. Take his ass to the Carolina Panthers, the Houston Texans, or Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, now that you bring up Carolina,
Yeah, they
I'd
passed the ball.
actually look at Yogi's guy if I'm going to package a trade with Carolina.
Oh,
Matt
Corral?
Corral, baby.
man, fuck no.
Nah, man. I just want our quarterback draft.
Man, I don't
So
want
basically,
that.
my
we can
conclusion,
get
though,
off
Tony, is
this,
basically like
Okay, you
it
do
is hard to
know
move 'em.
with the draft is a hit and miss. You know that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Everything.
And
But we
more
gotta
times,
say-
more motherfuckers miss than hit.
Hey, listen though.
Exactly.
Like Rap said, how do we'll never know until we take a chance.
Hey,
We gotta
got
take the
one.
chance.
I got
We gotta
one. I
take
got
a
one.
chance
I got one,
once in a
y'all.
while.
How about you trade TJ Hawkinson in a third for Xavier Howard over there in Miami? You get a
Hell
Flores guy to come back,
And
in here.
that would make Flores happy. That
You
would
get what I'm
make Flores
saying?
happy.
That's what you do. Even though
Right.
Xavier Howard's a little bit older, all that guaranteed money that's over there is going to stay with Miami. And now you got a true number one and a number two, cornerback,
I like it.
on your team.
I love
And
it.
I like that. I
They
like
want-
that.
I love it.
They
I don't
want-
give a fuck.
I was trying to trade
Woo!
Cook for Xavier Howard.
Hey, I did too. I think Rap had one of my videos. I had did a little thing on Twitter or whatever, and I had posted it. I traded Cook right after this season for Xavier Howard, like straight up.
But here's the thing, though. This team
Rams injured.
needs right now offensive line help. So if you package Hawkinson, I mean, I haven't looked at everybody's offensive lines, so I don't know who's worth
Yeah, that's
getting
what I'm
there.
saying. I gotta look. I gotta see.
Yeah,
it.
but good guards, teams ain't giving them up.
They're not good. Yeah.
I looked on the trade market. Ain't nobody on the
Yeah, they're not. Teams are not giving up
Hold on.
interior linemen.
Did Dalton Reisner sign with anybody, or is he still
Yeah.
out there?
Why we
He's
still
still out
talking
there.
about him, dude?
Nah, because I'm just wondering because what's up with it?
He's
He's
trash.
What's that?
He
He's
got
not-
He's not that good.
No, he got to be injured.
He's
out
better
there.
than what
He's
we
not-
got.
he's not- Look, though, Mike. Think
You
about
know
it like
who's
this,
looking
right?
at him? The
You know,
Bears.
yeah, the Bears are looking at him. The Bears are looking at him.
Watch the team get him, and he's going to start. Watch.
He's going to start for. You know why he's not here with the contract? Money, and he wasn't guaranteed a starting gig.
Shit, you just
We
told
got
me
Ed
shit.
Ingram and Ezra Cleveland as our guys. That's all I got to say. And you said that he's trash. What are they? If he's trash, then what are they?
This is what
What are they?
this is how I think about Reisner, right? When the free agency started,
Lord have
everybody had a little money
getting
to
hot.
spend
Right,
to
my
spend
face.
on to spend money, right? Nobody wanted him. Nobody brought him in. Nothing like that.
He's
right?
also coming off injury.
Exactly, right? So I'm just saying now that at the end of the free agency right now, like I just feel that as Viking fans, we got to stop being so enamored with throwing names out there just because they're available. Like last year, it was JC Trader.
Yep.
Everybody was talking about JC Trader, and this dude is still ain't on nobody's team. 2 years later.
First of all, I never said JC Trader because he was old anyway.
No, I'm not saying you, Tony, but I'm just saying like
I know what you're talking about. The Viking,
Yeah.
the fan base was
Yeah,
like
the fan
that.
base, and I just
Well,
be
let me
looking
tell
at
you-
it different. Like if Reisner was actually that good, then why is he available now?
That's a fact.
Because he got hurt and he doesn't fit the scheme that Sean Payton's running in Denver. Bottom line, that's it.
So what about the other
And he's
teams?
also they let him go before he was supposed to get a new contract.
Right. I'm just
So-
saying. I don't know.
It's
A
money.
1 year rental. 1 year rental.
I think if Reisner does sign anywhere, he gonna sign in Dallas.
Because
No, Dallas just gave Zach Martin that big contract. He ain't signing in Dallas.
He gonna sign somewhere like that.
The reason
Probably
why
the Bears.
Yeah,
The
probably
Bears.
the Bears.
1
And
year
just to
rental.
be fair, I was on that Treader train because Treader is better than Bradbury.
Yogi, you're better than Bradbury. I'm serious. You're better than Bradbury.
I'm going Zoe better than
Yeah,
Bradbury.
and that's all I'm saying though,
Nobody-
guys. It's just like our fan base. Sometimes we get so enamored with like certain names, and we create this narrative, and we just run with it, and like nobody does the research.
Okay, I'm gonna explain this fan base.
Please do, because you can go back. I only know 98.
I'm gonna explain this fan base. Yeah, I only know. Yeah, you only know 98. So sit this one out. You and Zobo.
I got you. hey, you need me to you need me to take notes of what? I got you.
Yeah, classes in session. Take notes.
Well, we.
With this fan base,
Call that
especially up here in Minneapolis,
Mhm.
especially now,
Mhm.
whatever's coming out of TCO, whatever the Vikings are feeding them, they're eating it like it's candy. So anytime that very few people take the time to do the research, look at the players, know the game of football outside of getting on Facebook and talking trash, to know how good these players really are. Anybody that knows the game knows damn well Dalton Risner is better than Ed Ingram and Ezra Cleveland combined.
And that's all I got to say. That's all I'm saying.
That's all it is. It's just, but when you've got a fan base that, and up here, the Vikings and the Gophers can do no wrong.
Man, the Gophers ain't shit.
When
They can
Ed
do no
Ingram
wrong.
gives up 2 sacks against the Bucks week 1, and Ezra Cleveland gives up another couple of sacks, and Kirk Cousins is on his ass all game. I hope I had that same
dude.
energy.
Okay.
I'm trying to tell you, let's
Or
go
if he
get
steps
Dalton
on-
Risner.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Vita Vea is going to have a Hall of Fame game on the 10th against Bradbury.
And
That's
then we
all
go
I got to
against the
say.
Eagles. And then we go against the Eagles Thursday night after that. So it's like,
There's a very
oh
real possibility this team could start 1-4.
Yeah.
oh, don't
Very
say that.
real. It's
Don't tell
very
me that.
real.
That's
Okay, and I want to tell you something now too. Don't think that the Chargers are an instant win.
right.
Yeah,
Herbert is no joke. Eckler out of the backfield is no joke. And that defense with Khalil Mack and the other Bosa.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Bradbury, he gets pushed back all the time. So it's like I
I ain't worried about the Chargers.
Hey, though.
Just-
The one you ain't worried about is the one you worry about the most.
Hey, quick thing on
That's
Bosa,
the one we
right?
gonna lose.
As what's going on with Bosa, the other Bosa, the younger brother over there, with the Niners. He ain't signed yet. He still ain't in camp. He's still playing around.
Who, Nick?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that Nick?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
he needs to
Nick.
hurry up and get paid because we need JJ to get extended because that's what JJ waiting on. That's my opinion.
No, he's not waiting on Bosa.
Yes,
Bosa's
he is.
Bosa's a defensive lineman. It's a different pay scale.
No, because Bosa wants to get paid as the highest non-quarterback, right?
Both
He wants to get paid at that. So JJ's team is waiting because they can up that
They
shit.
go
and say,
up.
I am the highest paid non-quarterback.
Right.
So we need Bosa to stop messing around, go there, sign his contract, so we can get JJ extended. That's
Bosa, you know what? Here's the thing. Bosa needs to keep his mouth shut because he don't play a full year. He gets hurt 3-4
I
games.
understand that. But
And here's
that's
the thing. He's an expendable position. Expendable, but they're all expendable. But the only ones the NFL will pay for outside of quarterbacks right now are wide receiver.
But that's what I'm
Everybody
saying.
else take a back seat. So if Bosa, and once again, that's probably his agent talking.
Exactly.
If his agent really thinks they're gonna break the bank, forget it. By the way, I think one of the reasons the agents are putting so many big money demands out there, the NFLPA doesn't have a director. I think DeMaurice Smith is gone, so they're kind of without direction. So right now, these agents are getting anything they can till they have to do the next collective bargaining.
Hey, Gary, something positive about the team. I'm loving the aggressiveness from the defense, but side note, I'm still worried about the run defense. But
By the way, Yogi, got a question.
Aggressiveness in general, I'm loving.
Yogi, you did notice if you watch real closely when the defense is on the field, They're lined up in a 5-2. That ain't a 3-4. It's a 5-2.
I love it. I love it.
I was running.
love it.
They ran that. We was running that in high school.
Hey, my boy Roy was out there today, though.
Roy looked good. Roy looked
He
good.
get double team everything, and he
Yep.
was still going crazy. Like
This
hey,
defense
Roy
is the
was doing
last thing
his
I'm worried about.
today.
I'm worried about the defense because first of all, if your offense doesn't play ball control, you can't have 3 and outs. That puts pressure on any damn defense.
Yeah, that's
Anybody.
true.
Defense fast.
That wears out your defense fast. And also, here's another thing. This team can't get into shootouts, and they can't get into high-scoring games because they will lose.
So
I agree with that.
So Tony, what you're saying is like, basically they should try to have, better running games so they can control the clock a little bit more.
Basically, go back to old school football, run the damn football.
I mean, but tell that to to Vikings Twitter, all these guys who said running backs don't mean
Okay,
nothing.
D Wiz, let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something about Viking Twitter. I am the most hated man on Viking Twitter because I'm brutally honest.
Hey, I want to be number 2 then. Let me be number
You
2.
need to run the ball. That's how
They
you
do.
open up the whole playbook,
We do.
play action.
We
and all that.
do.
We
It
do.
makes
Your coach is not a
sense, man.
joke, right? So you need that play action.
And I'm gonna tell you
It's like-
something. What's his name is Brian Flores is probably in Quizzy's ear telling him run the damn ball, keep my defense off the field, and don't put them in situations where you make me liable.
Yeah.
Don't
we
do
better
that
hope,
to me.
We better hope Madison and Ty Chandler can do the dang on thing.
Well, you know what? McBride did look pretty good today.
He
I give
looked good,
McBride
but-
credit.
Do you
He's
believe
gonna
in
be
these running
true.
backs that we have on roster, or do we need to bring in one more veteran after all the cuts? Which is weird to me. Like, why the
See,
NFL
here's
do
the
that?
thing.
You gotta see.
I don't understand why we need help at the line position, but we're bringing in running backs and wide receivers and cornerbacks.
Wide receivers and corner. It don't make no damn.
I know why, though. I get it.
But your glaring needs are on the offensive line.
Right.
So, but every week we hear about a running back coming in, or a wide receiver coming in, or a defensive back coming in, or a corner, defensive back. You haven't addressed the offensive line. You haven't addressed the defensive line. So you haven't addressed linebacker. You got like 5 linebackers on your team. Come on now.
That's true.
You got 5 linebackers and you start 4. Don't leave you with a whole lot of people backing them up.
Yeah.
But I love this defense, man. The schemes, the blitz schemes.
I'm worried about the linebackers, tell you the truth.
Ivan Pace Jr., let's go. Ivan Pace Jr., let's go.
Pace didn't play. Pace didn't play today. He didn't play. So
because
he's a starter. Here's the one I want to see. I want to see Asamoah out there and not hurt.
Yeah, that's a big factor right there. And Jordan Hicks, and we're gonna see what they got, man.
I mean, if Asamoah don't get on the field soon, I'm gonna start calling him Brian Ass, because that's all he is if he can't get on the goddamn field.
Yeah, but Ivan Pace, I think he'll be like a situational linebacker though, for real.
Yeah, he is most likely.
Pace is going to end up, as the season goes on, he's going to be every down because Hicks is older. Yep. Hicks is older, and Asamoah is still the wild card. But you're also going to see if he stays healthy, Lewis C is going to play some linebacker.
Yeah, he is.
He's going to play some linebacker. You're going to have 3 safeties out there.
Hey, Zo, did you see my video? Did you see my video when I broke it down about Lewis Cine and Jimmy Smith? Did you watch that video?
The last one?
Well, I got a couple of them. It's about Lewis Cine and Jimmy Smith. You got to watch that one.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
What the fuck
I think Yogi looked at it a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You got to check it out because I break it down. We got to stop always thinking these players is going to be, whatever they, going to be where they drafted at, right? Lewis Cine, is he better than Harrison Smith right now? No. Is he better than Cam Bynum right now? No. Is he better than Josh Metellus right now? No. So we got to stop saying, oh, he a bust or whatever, because the guys ahead of him are just better than him. That's just what it is. And why?
And some of that is true, but then some of it's on Lewis because he didn't get his head in the playbook last year. But
he got hurt last year.
But judging from that defense last year, I don't know what the hell he could look at because it was
exactly. So
it wasn't very
Jimmy
good.
Smith out there because Jimmy Smith was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in '92. He broke his leg too. But then he was behind Michael Irvin and all them other guys. He never was going to play. You think Jimmy Smith at that time was better than Michael Irvin? Hell no. But he's still the all-time best receiver, in Jacksonville history. So we got to give these guys a little bit of time for it to pan out just because we just can't give
But, with all due respect to Jimmy Smith, who was playing next to Jimmy Smith in Jacksonville?
Keenan McCardell.
He was already McCardell was already an all-pro.
Yeah, but look at it like this, though. Jimmy Smith is the all-time leading receiver in Jacksonville history. He got 12,000 yards. I think Keenan McCardell only got like 8,000. Like Jimmy Smith was that. Yeah,
dude. But they've only been a team for how long?
Not that long, though. They haven't.
No.
But what I'm saying is, though, he was never gonna get his just due in Dallas.
No, he wasn't. He was never gonna get it in Dallas.
Hey, Brody. Lewis Seen play motherfucking safety, bro. It don't take that damn long to get your feet up under your legs to play safety in the NFL, man.
Hey, so
tackling skill is not what it is.
No, let me tell you what it is, though. So I ain't trying to cut you off, but let me tell you what it is, though. Right? He got drafted from what school?
Georgia,
right? Georgia is pumping out how many defensive players right now? You got to understand, like it's like drafting a quarterback from a big school just because he on TV a lot. But a lot of the quarterbacks that come to the league and actually pan out are the quarterback from the smaller schools because they actually got to develop more and they know more playbooks and shit like that.
There's also the other thing too. He's at Georgia, right? With all that and his stack. Here's the thing. He was probably freelancing in Georgia and they were letting him do it.
Yeah.
He was freelancing.
That's what I'm saying, though. You're right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
I seen that man miss a crazy tackle last week, man.
He tried to use his head to make the tackle, man.
Yeah, but my thing is this, though. First off, bro, when you drafted that,
everybody that plays defense misses a tackle.
Exactly.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
But Lewis Seen, what have we seen for Lewis Seen to say he can be a safety in the NFL?
We haven't seen. Okay, we haven't seen. I'm going to come to defense to Lewis Seen. We haven't seen anything for him to be a starter. But what the hell have we seen from these jackasses that are starting that makes them look like starters?
Huh?
Ed Ingram. What have you seen from him that he deserves to be a starter?
He shouldn't be starting.
Thank you. Okay.
But Lewis Seen got people in front of him that can really play the position.
Well, Bino's playing out of position. Bino's really a cornerback.
Yeah, but he playing good in Marcella Bennett or what's his name?
Metellus.
I forgot his last name though.
Metellus?
Yeah, his last name.
Josh Metellus.
Josh Metellus.
Oh, damn, I'm tripping. That's his last name.
Yeah. I'm like, what? His last name is Metellus. What the hell?
Johnson.
Yeah, I'm tripping.
Damn.
What the hell is Metellus Johnson doing?
But my whole thing is this, though, man. Lewis Seen is a first-round pick. Lewis Seen should be out there dogging them second and third string players on the football field. Bro.
That's true, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Thank you. Is he really a first round pick? Because guess what? Minnesota picked him the last pick in the first round because guess what? Their guy was at one who they wanted, and management said no, trade down, get a cheaper guy. So they got Seen. If they really wanted a safety, they could have had Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah. And the thing about Kyle Hamilton too, though, you got to understand it too. Like, even though he probably would have came in here and immediately started, now you run into a situation like, what you gonna do with Harrison Smith? What you would have got?
Well, Harrison's gonna retire.
I love him.
He's gonna retire.
Man said let him go. He old as hell, man.
Yeah, Harrison's gonna retire. Okay, first of all, you guys, Harrison Smith is 33.
I understand.
Gonna be 34.
God, man.
It doesn't matter. Find a new one. He's gonna retire.
Yeah,
my guys were the purple people eaters. Come on now. I had to move on 30, 40 years ago. If I can move on from the greatest front four the Vikings ever had, you can move on from Harrison Smith.
Hey, it's just, to me, he one of the last ones, him and Daniil, one of the last ones left from that Zimmer regime that I just was like, man, these dudes is monsters. So I'm probably emotionally attached to them, to Hunter.
I could tell. Let his ass go, man.
All right, now answer this question, y'all. Lewis Seen, right? Who would you put Jay Ward above him right now?
I would. He showed
He
more.
healthy.
Yeah.
He showed more.
Okay. No, if Lewis Seen was healthy, because he did play the first preseason game in the second, from what you have seen so far, who would you pick?
Jay
Seen.
Ward.
Jay Ward.
Seen.
Seen?
Seen.
Okay.
No,
I'd actually
because-
here's the if I'm gonna put Scene on the field, here's what I'm gonna
I'm
do.
putting him in the box.
I'm listing Scene as a linebacker.
Okay.
I'm moving him to linebacker.
Yeah.
That's probably what they should do.
I tell y'all
That's
what.
fine.
Hey, though,
Yeah.
Tony, they ain't smart enough though, Tony.
Hey,
They
Tony.
ain't
Well,
thinking
Brian
like that,
Flores.
Tony.
Well, Brian Flores does have him playing that linebacker position.
Hey,
He
Tony.
does.
Brian Flores is that guy.
That boy on that.
That's gonna be our next coach. Watch.
Hey, look.
He gonna mess around, be the coach.
I'm telling y'all. I'm
Yeah.
telling y'all, he gonna be the next coach, man. He gonna hang around here, and KOC gonna get fired for that
Man, I
offense. You know,
tell y'all
disappearing in the second.
No,
and
you know what's gonna happen? One of them California jobs is gonna open up.
and KOC gonna bounce.
He's either gonna bounce or Flores is gonna.
I tell y'all what though. The
That
shit I think-
look for the
shit I think
Chargers job to open up.
today. Lewis
Yeah,
Seen
'cause he
went-
should have been fired
Lewis
last
Seen
year
went
after
got
that.
sack today.
Huh?
Lewis
said what?
Seen, Lewis Seen when he got that sack today. How Jay Ward got that sack straight fumble.
Yeah, he would.
Lewis Seen would have fucked that.
I don't know, man. Yo,
No, if it's
Wait, what?
Lewis, if you're sending a player just straight to his target, anybody's gonna get that play.
You think
They'd
that?
have to be. They would have to be like either the water boy's really retarded cousin or somebody that can't play football to not get it. Scene probably would have got. Scene wouldn't probably have got the
fumble.
maybe the fumble, but he would have got the play.
I don't know. I don't know, man. It sucks. I don't want to say Seen is a
Hey,
bust.
man, it's okay, man. It's okay, man. Lewis Seen about to be a bust. It's okay, bro.
He ain't a bust.
I'm not.
yet.
Here's the thing, though, Zoe. Don't get it. Okay, Zoe, don't get it twisted. I'm not defending the man.
It's okay.
I'm just telling you some football stuff that
Yeah.
he's in his second year. Okay.
Hey, what was
Yeah,
that guy?
that's
Shaq. I think his name. I had a video about the whole situation with Lewis Seen going to linebacker. Like that actually works. There's been guys had did it before. I think Shaq Barrett did it over there in the Buccaneers.
Shaq
for a while.
Barrett was a defensive end. They moved him to linebacker.
Yeah, I mean, you can
But
do
Shaq-
it,
But
but I just,
Shaq was bigger than Lewis Seen, wasn't he?
Lewis Seen is pretty big though.
Scene is actually like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
He's just skinny. He's got skinny legs.
What
He's
about
bigger
his-
than
what
Pace.
about his weight though?
He can play. Here's the this is the thing, though. This is what people aren't realizing. Like in today's football, in college, you always had a tweener. What's his name? You have a tweener and a rover. Brian Urlacher was a rover, but they made him a middle linebacker.
Hey.
But Scene is actually he's a rover, so he can play safety or linebacker. He can play in the box or in pass coverage. I would prefer to see him near the box. I think he plays better up at the line of scrimmage.
What
They
about
need
Booth?
that somewhere on defense.
Booth can't stay healthy enough to even get on the field.
Man, fuck
That's
Booth.
surprising.
Man,
It's
Booth
a
needs
wrap.
to get cut.
It's
Booth, I would probably.
I'll probably cut. Shit.
I would. No, I'm not going to waste this.
Me neither.
I'm going to spend a second round draft choice. No, I'm going to get something out of him. I'm
too.
determined. I'm determined. If
Oh,
I
my
Get
Only
a
thing
seventh round
only
pick.
thing gonna get out Andrew Booth a touchdown thrown on your ass.
Hey,
Well,
hey, though, you can't say that though because I've been watching some preseason right now, and I've been seeing that dude Bobo for Seattle. He been burning a lot of dudes.
Yes.
So like I can't even say like Booth was even like Bobo looked like he about to be that dude over there for real. He gonna make that team.
I was on the Bobo train.
Yeah,
I was on the Bobo.
yeah, now
train.
and watch that train derail after week 3 of the NFL season.
Seattle defense be good though for real. I ain't gonna lie to you though. I'd be liking Seattle defense.
Hey, I got a question for y'all.
They're gonna be
too,
tough.
like,
They're gonna be
I
tough.
want to ask
Seattle.
y'all about Flores, right? I got a quick question though. What is Flores' like? Like, you know how Mike Zimmer was the cornerback guru, right? So the cornerbacks had to be a certain way with Zimmer. Like
Flores is a linebacker coach.
linebacker coach, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Because I'm not too sure on these linebackers, man. I'm just being real.
And that's not Flores' fault.
That's why I still want Patrick Queen.
That's not Flores' fault. It's the fault of first of all, we don't really have any collateral to be getting any players in a trade. We really don't. And what we're asking for, a lot of teams are probably looking at us right now and they're just like, yeah, right, hang up the phone. And they're not, what we have, and this is once again, this comes down to it. We don't have football people running the damn football team.
Yeah, and
so it's a wonder that these other teams haven't kind of manipulated these guys.
We need to send
because they don't know.
Booth, Rieger, and a second for.
Okay, I got a question.
And Patrick McCarry.
I got a question for all y'all. What is the love affair with Jalen Naylor? I think he sucks.
I ain't seen him.
This is what it is.
Exactly, Zoe. Exactly. The man ain't been on the field.
When did he play?
This is what it is, though, right?
But everybody loves him.
Whenever you got a guy that was drafted in the first round, people are always going to take a second look at him because they're going to always say like, "Oh, he was a first round talent." Look at fucking Laquan Treadwell. He's still in the league.
Yeah, Laquan is still in the league. He
was drafted in the first round.
Yeah,
like teams think that, oh, maybe this team wasn't, doing it right, so maybe I can have a chance to excel.
But here's the thing though. He's been in the league 7 years?
Who, Rager?
No, Treadwell.
Naylor.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about Naylor, not Rager.
Said Rager.
Here's my thing with Naylor.
I said Rager.
I said, what's the love affair? What's the love affair with Naylor? Because he can't stay on the field. He gets hurt all the time.
That's Zoe's boy.
Okay.
Huh?
That's my boy.
That's your boy.
Who? Rager?
Naylor.
Oh yeah, I like the Naylor. He ain't doing shit though. Fuck him. I ain't seen him play yet. I ain't play none of
Jalen Rager, going to Jalen Rager, he's a first round pick that got picked above before the great Justin Jefferson. And he's playing against third stringers in the last preseason game. That should tell you everything you need to know. It sucks because I think he actually played good the first preseason game, but I don't know, man. Jalen Rager needs to get traded.
Rager is the first round pick.
I don't.
Yeah, he's a first round pick that playing.
No, she said 6th round pick.
No, Jalen Rager was a first.
Naylor was a 6th round pick.
Right, Naylor, but
they both named Jalen. That's why.
Yeah.
Hold on. What?
Yeah, y'all fucked me up with the name. We talking about Rager. Who? Who we talking about?
I was talking about Rager.
I was talking about Naylor.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Who are you talking about?
I was talking about Rager.
You know what I'm talking about?
All right.
Okay, y'all gonna drive me to drink. That's all I got to say. Because
hey, speaking of drinking, I gotta go take a bathroom break because I'm like 8 beers in. I'll be right back.
6th round pick. I'm like, who the fuck is he talking about?
Jalen Naylor was a 6th round pick.
Right.
Rager was a 1st round pick.
Exactly.
Oh
And you
my
was talking
God.
about first round pick.
I was talking about Jalen Rager, the one from Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
But here's the thing now that if they keep Rager,
Let's say
okay. If they keep number 5, I don't even know. If they keep number 5, here's the thing now. Rager can return punts.
Yes.
But I also think Brandon Powell can return punts too.
He made the team. He made the team.
So I think Rager is expendable. I think he's either cut or traded. Now
I traded as a New England shit.
And New England might take him.
They might.
New England might take him. Now with I don't even know what number Naylor is. What was he? 83?
I mean, we don't know because he don't play.
He don't never play.
I don't know. Is he still on the team?
Yeah, he's hurt.
Shit.
He's hurt.
Team.
He's hurt. But they keep him, and I'm like, why are you keeping him? He never gets on it. He's always hurt. But they love him. I think because Keenan McCardell, that's his boy.
They hype him up like he's like really good for some reason. I don't know why. I'm like, oh, Jalen Naylor made a tough catch in practice. I'm like, I
don't care shit about practice.
Right, like Allen Iverson, practice. You talking about practice, not the game.
You love Philly. You love Philly. You had
Hey,
hey,
I'm Philly
them
every
true colors,
single
guys,
time.
though. I was gonna say it too. The true colors coming out, man. Yeah,
we talking
man.
about AI. We talking
Yeah.
about practice. We had to throw Philly in there. I feel you though,
You
Mike.
had to throw
But
Philly
look
in there,
though,
man.
man.
Yeah, with y'all,
Hey,
man.
if it was
For
me
real.
though, I'd trade KJ ass to New England. I'd try to get a second round draft pick for his ass.
Yeah, but then you don't have a dependable 3.
I like that one receiver we had today. What's his name?
Who?
Dorsey Thompson, or what's his name?
You know how long that brother been with the team? He been on friggin' practice squad
Jackson?
since he became 18, I guess. He's been on practice squad forever.
This has been the team.
Yeah, he's
Number
been on
9?
practice. Yeah, he's been on.
But man, my thing is, man, first off, bro, you got TJ, you got Ja, and you got JJ. How many wide receivers you need on offense?
In the NFL, today's NFL, up to damn near 5 or 6.
Who got that many receivers though?
You take a look at some rosters, dude.
I'm saying, like Cincinnati got 3 nice wide receivers.
What's y'all opinion on Blake? What's his name? Blake Pro. He caught
He played
5.
for the Rams.
You know
5
what?
touchdowns for
Only
45
reason
yards.
the only reason Prohl is still with the team is because he ends up on practice squad every year. I think this is the last year he can't be on practice squad. They're going to have to cut him.
And he related to Ricky Pro.
That's his son, I think.
That's why.
Yep, that's his
Okay.
son.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah, he
know.
caught 5 catches for 45 yards, and yeah.
Minnesota, man, the Vikings need to do some damn trading, man. We got to trade players, man.
Hey, though. Hey,
Trade
Yeah, but here's
everybody,
the thing,
Trade
though.
everybody.
Here's the thing, though. What do we trade
We
for?
ain't got shit
What?
to trade. We ain't got shit.
We have no collateral.
Hell no.
Only thing we have is like draft choices, which, depending on how we finish, could
Hey,
either
hey.
be middle of the road or hell, they could win 12, 13 games, be in the 20s again, or win 7 or less and be in the top 10.
Super Bowl all day, man.
Mike, stop.
Yeah, Mike, I don't know what Mike you talking about.
Stop, Mike. Oh, God, he's putting the horns on. Oh, Jesus. Oh,
Hey.
Jesus.
Hey, he over there drinking that purple Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah,
Come
he
on,
is,
man.
man. You drinking that drink, boy? You drinking that lean over there?
See, Pro is going to get cut.
Let's
They're gonna
go.
Save that
Let's go.
number
Go,
13.
baby.
They're going to save that number 13 for Jordan Travis.
Who?
Jordan Travis.
Shadir, what's his name? What's the guy? What's the Bull's name?
The quarterback
Shadir
for
Sanders.
FSU.
No,
For who?
dude played Florida State.
Florida State?
Yeah.
I'm staying away from Florida State.
Why?
guy.
Because
Florida.
Thank you.
No, that was a dumbass draft pick, though. That was a dumbass draft pick.
I don't care.
I ain't see shit out of Christian Potter that year for me to draft him in the first round.
Yo, that was stupid,
That's
man.
true.
That's
was a
why-
dumbass pick. Like, what did you see out of Christian Potter that year?
Yo,
They said-
Not a thing.
They said because he was smart.
You know what though? I ain't gonna lie. That was a really bad draft class.
Whoa.
Really
That's what
bad.
they said.
Yeah.
Oh,
Christian Potter.
imagine if he didn't have Adrian Peterson to hand the ball off to him. Just imagine how bad he would really be.
He hurt his
didn't have
arm
AD.
doing that too. That's why he
Wait.
that's why he was playing that playoff game. He hurt
Wait,
his
when
arm
did-
doing this.
What year did Peterson get hurt? Wasn't that 2011?
I don't know.
I
don't
don't
remember.
know. And then he came back the following.
Yeah, it was 2011. So he didn't have Adrian Peterson to hand off to for like 6
Man.
games. He
Yo.
was handing off to Toby Gerhardt.
Remember that, yo?
Hey,
You know my guy. You know my guy was Chester Taylor.
hey,
Chester
he
Taylor.
was nice though.
Chester
But
Taylor.
but let's give the coach at that time some credit. He was the first one to put Cordero Patterson in the backfield and let him play running back.
Y'all
Hey,
missed.
Tony.
I missed.
Hey,
Tony.
the Falcons
We
might
think-
need a tight end.
The Falcons, yeah, because they're not happy with Pitts either.
Cordero
Oh,
Patterson,
for real?
man.
Yeah, because Pitts can't. He
Yeah, they're not happy
can't
with
get
Pitts.
open. He
He's
can't.
supposed to
You
be
know.
nice out of the draft. He's supposed to be the
That's-
best. player
yeah.
for them.
That's the thing, though. You got to understand, though. Like he came from it's like I said, he came from another big school. Didn't he come from Florida or whatever, right? So he
Who?
came from another big school.
Pitts
So-
came from Florida, I
He
think.
came from Florida.
Florida.
He came from another big school. They play on TV
Hype
more
them
than
up.
a lot of other
Hype them
teams.
up.
So people get hyped up and they draft these players, and then when they get them, they gotta
Stop.
they like clay. They got to get molded. They can't run routes. They can't do this. They can't get separation. They just athletic. And you get to the point, it's like, how long can you keep them on them teams? They got.
By the way, Atlanta is another team to look out for because if Arthur Smith doesn't really turn it around this year, they're going to be looking at another head coach too.
Trade them KLC.
Who they gonna get?
That Flores could go.
Damn, man, I don't want to lose Flores, Tony.
You're gonna lose Flores. That's the whole thing.
Oh,
You're
man.
gonna lose him. You're
I'm gonna
gonna
have to-
lose him.
I don't want. He changed the whole culture. Like I'm not even worried about the defense no more. Like that's how confident I am
No,
in Brian Flores. Like I'm just like.
you see the thing about Flores that I like though,
Change the
it's
culture,
that-
man.
it's that Parcells Street situation, you know,
Yeah.
that Belichick shit. It's that hard ass football
Yeah.
shit. I don't want no nice coaches. I don't
Yeah.
want no coaches
Okay,
come in here. tell
guess
me,
what?
Hey, how you doing? Let's shake your hand. Get your ass on that field and let's play some football.
D Woods.
That's what I want. That's
D
what I want in my
Woods.
coach.
That is not happening here in Minnesota after Zimmer, who was a Parcells dude. They want to have everybody running around saying hello to each other in the friggin' hallway, singing Kumbaya, doing yoga, and every goddamn thing else that has nothing to do with football.
That's
But
only
they want
football
everybody.
games.
Thank you. Give me a coach. Give me a coach to yell at me. Give me a coach to get mad
but
and
I'm
tell me
just
when I'm
saying,
doing
Tony,
something wrong.
He the closest thing we got.
That's why he won't get the job.
What's your opinion on Luigi Villain? I think that's how he's pronounced.
I like him.
Yeah.
What's
I
your
like him.
opinion on him? Linebacker. He had a pretty good game.
Villain's gonna make the team. Especially
Yeah, I
there's
like him a lot.
there's no depth at linebacker. He's a
Right.
rushing linebacker,
Right.
so he's gonna make the team.
He made my
I like him a
53.
lot. I like
He
him
made-
a lot.
Yeah, he made the team. The linebacker, the people I saw today,
Carter needs to go.
yeah,
Say it, Yogi. Say it.
Yeah.
again.
Carter needs to go.
Hey, though, since we talking about cuts, like I understand, like the league changed it. You used to have more cuts throughout the offseason or whatever. Who do you think is going to be like one of the biggest surprise cuts, like around the
well
league?
now
Who?
since they got rid of that extra game
That's not a
now,
surprise, though,
Yeah.
Zo. That's not
they're
a
not
surprise.
gonna cut Booth. Zo, sit this one out.
Now you
No.
get what I'm saying, Tony. Like I'm talking about around the league, not just Vikings.
Around the league.
Yeah, like it's
I
gonna be
hope they
some
cut a
surprises.
guard. Cut a guard. That's all I want them to do. Someone cut a guard. An
Ooh.
average guard.
Dak Prescott.
Nah, too much money.
That would be the reason you get cut. Too much money. But they
Nah, I ain't cutting him.
No, they can't cut Dak though, but that's crazy. Trey Lance went to Dallas. I'm happy for that.
only one I can think of. Somebody said one of the linebackers in San Francisco could get cut. I forget which one it was.
Oh, let me go to ESPN. Hold on.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm just saying,
Hold
Tony, because it's weird now, like how they got to get the cuts like on Tuesday, and they got to go from like 90 to like 53. They usually like
They
gradually
used
do
to
it.
when they had the 4 preseason
Yeah.
games. They used to break it down. Now they're just doing it all, which is stupid.
And I
They're
think,
doing
like,
it all at one lump
and I
sum,
think,
which is wrong.
Like my theory too is I say maybe like Monday we're gonna see a lot of players get traded because since everybody gonna get cut, you don't want a player to go through and you don't want to have to get a claim. So you might have to trade for a guy.
Some teams cut today. I think Atlanta, they let go of one of their high draft choices that was a lineman. They let him go, Mayfield. They cut
Get
him.
him as a guard. That's all I want.
He's a
need-
tackle.
We
He's
need
a
Trade
tackle.
tackles too.
We need everything.
We need
We
backup
got
tackles too.
Hey, D-Woods, I didn't get to Yogi. Oh, I already talked to Yogi. D-Woods, what's your opinion? And Tony, we already talked to. What's your opinion on Jaren Hall? Do you think Jaren Hall can be the number 2 eventually, or do you just like?
This is
have you
how
seen
I
enough?
think about it. It's an open-ended question to me because I feel like if we believe that KLC can actually be the quarterback guru and develop a guy, I say, stick Jaren Hall as the number 3 quarterback, developing in the background. I'm cool with that. What we're seeing now is not the player that we want him to be in the next couple of years. It's not.
Right.
But I don't know, like, what it's going to be like down the line, because it's like if you're trying to develop a guy, you're going to have to do things to put him in position to develop. What they did today, I applaud KLC for making him play the whole game because that's the only way he's going to develop.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I understand they brought a guy in to Tiamu, and he was supposed to play the second half, but
He didn't play at all.
You was gonna cut him anyway. So your best bet.
Why did you even sign him?
To hand the ball off?
I have no clue.
Why did you sign Tiamu in the first place? You've got other roster. This is what I don't understand.
It's dumb.
You've got roster needs on that offensive line up and down, left and right, but you're ignoring them for basically fantasy football choices.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Come on.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, it's like if KLC.
Speaking of which, I am going to kick your guys' asses in fantasy football.
If KLC can develop Jaren Hall, I see promise. I do, but we got to get patient, and we're gonna have to accept that he's gonna make mistakes, and he's gonna get us.
Okay, D Woods, as a lifelong fan of this team, patience is something I do not have. I want success. I want it now. I want a damn Super Bowl. I want to see us hoist a trophy before I die.
What's that commercial? I want my money and I want it now.
Yeah, that JG Wentworth commercial, man. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. You got the lady screaming, "It's my money and I want it now."
But here's a question for you guys. We were told KLC was his quarterback guru, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
What quarterback did he never called a play up until last year? What the hell? What quarterback did he?
The reason why? Because of Stafford. He made Stafford.
Stafford was already a number one quarterback.
Oh no, but he made him better.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. McVay made him better.
Wasn't he the quarterback coach? Officer, what was he?
He was the offensive coordinator he was the offensive coordinator that never called a play.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Well, then I don't know.
You know who he was? He was Brad Childress.
Damn.
He was Brad Childress.
It's kind of like what's his name? Eric the Enemy with Andy Reid.
Yeah, the Enemy. Yeah,
but Enemy knows football though.
The Enemy knows football.
But that's kind of like the same situation. He's not
calling running back coach.
And Bieniemy gets a bad rap. They always say some stupid excuse like
he's a hard ass. That's why.
He's old school. He's old school. But here's what you don't understand though. These players in this generation are soft as hell. They're soft.
I want to see.
Hey, Tony, I want to tell y'all something real quick. Speaking of soft players right there, right? So I took my nephews to the Alexander Madison, camp or whatever, right? Me and my homeboy, we took our kids over there. I got my nephews and shit right there, right? So we sitting there looking like we play football coming up. Me and my homeboy, man, you got these kids showing up like in like pajamas, Crocs. Like, is you out here ready to work out or you trying to go to sleep? Like, which one are you trying to do? You feel me? And then it's just like, and then you got coaches that tell them like, hey, like, where your cleats at? Like, we about to get on this field right now and get some work. Like, why are you talking to me like that? Like, bro, you just showed up to a football camp and you ain't ready.
Time has changed, man. D Woods, I'm telling you,
that's
like,
where we at with these kids, man.
I ain't gonna get into it because I don't want
to. For real.
It's different.
It's different, man.
Different. It's very well, and it's to the point now where there's
safe zone.
Everybody's so scared. Yes, they're so scared of everybody getting concussions and all that other stuff. And the NFL is doing all this stuff because they don't want to get sued.
It's the NFL feelings. You can't say nothing to them. Like if I was a football coach, you can't really say nothing to them because.
But the NFL, when it comes like the NFL used to make big time. You guys probably remember this. Years ago, the NFL made a ton of money off of videotapes and DVDs, the hardest hits in the NFL, right? Yeah. They made big time money off of that.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Now, you don't see that because guess what? You see a hard hit, they're going to get 15 yards.
Yeah, but you don't get fined for it.
They're going to get fined and probably kicked out of the game, depending on the hit, depending how the hit is. They did this with Harrison Smith in Oakland back in 2015. They had to review the hit to say that he didn't use his head to keep him in the game. That's it. That's how bad. And that's because the owners don't want to get sued because they're getting a lot of them are getting sued by former players that these owners are still making money off of.
Yeah.
And those players want their cut.
This is random. Did what's his name get signed? What's his name? Clowney?
Yeah.
Baltimore. Baltimore.
I feel like he's overrated too. Like everybody hype him up because of that big hit.
He just talented.
He's just talented, but he's also old.
Talented.
He's also older.
And speaking of talented, like, how did y'all feel when Ryan Clark said that Pickens was more talented than JJ? Did that make y'all mad?
It didn't bother me at all.
Me neither, because I feel the same. I feel he might be more talented, but he ain't JJ.
But it's also just one man's opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I got opinions. A whole lot of people don't agree with my opinions, but that's the way it is. That's life.
And Ryan Clark said all type of crazy shit on TV.
Yeah. First of all, I got a question. Why you watching ESPN in the first place?
I just saw the headline and everybody was running with it and everybody was in their feelings. And I was just like, it ain't even really a big deal to me. Like, because you got to, like, just how Mike said, Jadeveon Clowney, right? He probably on his third and fourth team, but he ain't even a pass rusher like Danielle Hunter. Like, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you ain't actually trying to work at your craft and get better, you're going to be in the same spot that you been in when you got drafted.
Clowney, and he'll go from team to team. He's older now, so
he just want to make money.
He's in it for the money.
Trying to make as much as he can right now,
and he's not an every down player.
No,
so he's basically just you get 25, 30 plays.
That's who he is.
Yeah, you get 25, 30 plays out of him at the most if you're lucky.
We have to find a guard, y'all. Like, we got to figure this out. I'm gonna do some research on like
when them cuts come on Tuesday, it's gonna be somebody available.
Somebody has to be some type of tackle and playing. I don't know. There has to be somebody that's got to do something.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the?
Yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah,
is that the one with the Adams apple?
Hey. Oh my God!
I'm just saying.
I'm trying to figure it out, man. Hey, I like Courtney Cronin, man. She be having some good takes. That's who I like on here.
Joy be talking that shit.
Oh, Joy.
Hey, Joy talking that shit, yo. I'm gonna get Joy on my channel.
Man, this is how I feel about Joy.
What's her name? Joy what?
Joy Taylor.
Joy Taylor.
She gets me drunk.
But it's provocative. Oh, let me be quiet. My girl watching my shit.
That's how you get yourself in trouble, Zo.
All business purposes.
Joy Taylor from Undisputed.
Yeah. It's all about business. Nothing else.
Hey, Skull. She ain't got
look that good to me.
Skull Mafia. She ain't got to know nothing.
She ain't got them.
Everybody, all the people at ESPN know nothing. So she fits right in.
What'd you say?
Shannon Sharp gonna be on First Take.
Who?
All she's got to know is how to say Yogi.
Shannon Sharp.
All you gotta do is say.
He go to First Take?
He's going on First Take with Stephen A. Smith.
But he ain't gonna be like every day. He only got
it's like
certain days.
2 days. Like 2 days a week.
Them two gonna go at it one time. He'll be off of there.
And I think Skip Bayless is going to be with who? What was the?
Skip got Lil Wayne or somebody.
No. We got Keyshawn Johnson and somebody else.
He got an actor or musician or somebody.
Hey, you know what it is though? Hey, quiet as kept.
I'm the special
We the reason why ESPN firing everybody.
Yeah, let's go.
Real talk. I'm gonna keep it real though. If you look at what we doing from the production, from a podcast point of view, or even going on like YouTube Live or whatever, look at the production Yogi got. This shit is dope. A gang of people doing this shit out there right now. Like, why ESPN gonna pay all these dudes to do the same thing we doing? And we doing it better.
And ESPN was a lot better before Disney bought them.
Exactly.
They were a lot better. Disney owned ESPN. Yeah, Disney owns everything.
They own Marvel.
That's why it's the ESPN Disney Hulu bundle.
Oh,
yeah. And they change the price for every year.
Yeah.
They're coming after my wallet, guys.
By the way, what's y'all opinion on Mekhi Blackman? That's another guy that I like personally. I like Mekhi.
He should be starting.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's not hurt no more, I don't think, right?
Hope so.
Is there anybody who's actually healthy now? I mean, everybody's hurt on this damn team. I'm like, every time you turn around, somebody's hurt.
Who knows Adam? Whose chat is Adam in? Is he on yours, Mike, or yours
Who?
though? Adam
Mine.
I don't know.
Adam Palabicki.
That's probably yours, Yogi. You don't know.
Hey, he
Album.
ain't even saying nothing, Yogi. He just saying a couple
Yeah.
of dots.
Dot.
Hey,
He
he
ain't
a
on mine
spy.
because
Yeah, that's all I
But
see.
look, yo, hey, D Woods,
What up, Zoe?
are we going live tomorrow for the fantasy draft?
Yeah, I got too many screens going on. I won't be.
He don't want to be distracted. He don't want to be
probably won't be
distracted. You gotta
live.
concentrate.
that's okay. We'll just talk shit about him.
Hey, D Woods,
He'll
you
just
gonna
have to
lose,
take
man.
it.
This is my first time doing it.
Hey, Mike,
That's
why
my
you ain't
excuse.
get in?
I'm in it.
You in?
Yeah, this is my first time doing it. I'm gonna win, man.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
want to
win.
hear that your first time.
Yeah,
shot.
he's in
no.
the 16 team win. All
Yeah.
four of us
All
are in the
day. You already
16.
know the vibes, man. You already
Hey,
know the
that
vibes.
16
me and
team
Tony
is
are in
gonna
the
be
18.
brutal.
Coming
Though.
for the
Like,
dog,
like your
man.
first
Coming
pick
for the
gotta be
dog.
right.
Hey,
Yeah.
yo,
Like for real, man.
I don't want pick number one.
hey,
Hey,
yo,
Man.
how long it's gonna take
Yeah.
for you to get
you
your
got
next
you
pick?
got to send me that link again so I can get on tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah, okay.
Look like
On the
Zoe gonna
fantasy-
auto draft. Here we go. Zoe gonna be auto draft at the top, like auto draft.
Hey, D Will, you know what crazy? I'm gonna beat all of y'all in fantasy football, bro.
Hey, you still ain't played me in Madden yet, though.
I know
I-
he's playing
I-
play me Madden.
I ain't get the new one yet. I've been
I ain't
broke
get the new one.
in.
You got the new one, Mike. You know we
Nah.
got crossplay on there, man. It don't matter what system you got.
Oh.
Hey, look though, I'm getting a new one Monday though.
And then
He said
and
the way
then
my
Tuesday
checking
you gonna have a
and my
L.
savings is set up.
Hey, who you play with?
I play with the
Who?
Vikings. Only team I'll play with.
That's same here. He plays with the Eagles, man. You hear about that? He plays with the Eagles, man.
Hey, don't put that on that boy. You play with the Eagles.
Yeah, you
Oh,
heard-
no.
you heard Mike. He played with the Eagles. You heard Mike, like what the like damn.
He might play with Detroit, but you play with the Eagles.
Oh, he might play
Hey,
with Detroit, huh?
Al, both leagues got filled up. Both leagues got the 16 team
Yo,
and the 18.
When is the
ones.
18 draft?
Tomorrow at 8:20 p.m. Central
Okay.
Time.
hey, P Woods, where you from?
From California, man.
Oh, so you already know what. Okay.
LA all
Cali
the way
boy.
through, baby.
You know he a round fan.
No, you know what though? Real talk though, I get
Real
that
talk, though.
a lot.
Mike,
man.
you know he been
I
around with
hate
this
that.
real talk.
Hey, I
You know he
hate
gonna
that.
say number or I cap. What you
Hey,
got?
I hate that. Hey, but we didn't have a team when I was coming up though, man. Like the Rams just got here. The Chargers just got here.
What year were you born, D Woods?
84.
Y'all had a team.
You guys just the Raiders just won the Super Bowl.
But I was a little kid.
Yeah,
Like,
they
my
left.
dad's a Raider fan.
Now he was
and my
a little
dad tried to
kid.
make me a Raider fan. So I got pictures when I was a little kid, Raider hat and stuff like that. But I
all
wasn't trying to
Okay,
be a
keep
part
talking.
of
What else
these
you
little
got?
franchises.
What else you
or
got
whatever.
of the Raiders?
So I just changed my mind. Like I wasn't doing that.
It looks like he has a New York fitted on.
You got
So
New
is
York
he a New York Giant?
Hey, Yogi,
He got a
Yogi,
New
you
York
better tell him to
fitted on,
stop because you know I ain't gonna stop. You
Is
better
you
tell
from
him.
Brooklyn for real? Hey, what time is it where you at right now? I want to time zone right now.
Don't
It's
look
8
at your
o'clock
watch.
where I'm at right now. I'm in Pacific time
What
zone.
time zone is it?
It's Pacific time zone.
What
All right.
time is it right
It
now? I want
is.
to know the time zone shit. Tell me
Y'all
the
trying
time.
to get on
shit.
me. Nah, man. Y'all can't do it. Don't get me started.
Kirk Cousins
Exactly.
is my quarterback.
Can we mute Mike now?
Yeah, mute that motherfucker,
Hey,
Yogi,
no.
man.
Hey, what's up with that though? Like, why y'all mute me though? That's my
No,
quarterback.
just Yogi, just hit the mute button.
Quarterback, and that's
Do it
your
by
quarterback.
mistake.
No, okay. First of all, I'm gonna tell your ass something. Kirk Cousins will never be my quarterback. Kirk, he will never. He's quarterback. He's quarterback of my. He's quarterback of my football team. He is not my quarterback. There's a difference. He's quarterbacking my football team. I don't make the personnel decisions. If I did make the personnel decisions, Kirk Cousins' ass would not be here.
That's a good point. Because I would have kept Case Keenum.
Hold on.
I would have kept Case Keenum too.
Hold on, wait.
This better, y'all. This better. There y'all go.
Hold on, wait. What the
I know
fuck?
that's not what I think that is. I know that's not what I think that is.
Man, this
That's
that
what I'm talking
official
about.
draft hat, baby. You don't know nothing about this.
Oh. All right.
Hey, so you said you would have kept Case Keenum for real?
I would have kept Case Keenum.
I would have kept him another year.
The reason I would have kept Case Keenum was if you were going to keep a team together at that time, you would have kept that team together.
He got us to the NFC Championship.
What happened is you bring Kirk Cousins into the locker room, and he's already got that reputation in the NFL. It's not just with us fans; it's in the NFL that he is who he is.
Right.
And then to top it off, not only did they get rid of Kirk, not only bring in Kirk, you lose Teddy, beloved in that locker room.
Oh man,
Brian Robinson, you waived him, and he took a pay cut.
Yeah.
You let Case Keenum go, who gets you to that game.
NFC Championship.
And what it did was it flipped everything.
And the worst thing about it, correct me if I'm wrong, did Zimmer want Kirk Cousins?
No.
Then Zimmer didn't want Kirk Cousins. That's what I'm saying. Like everything was just not.
This is what you guys didn't understand about that whole Spielman Zimmer dynamic. Zimmer he could do no wrong with this team at that time.
Right.
Spielman was not getting the same spotlight.
Respect.
He wasn't getting. He got kind of the respect, but he wasn't getting the spotlight. Spielman wanted the spotlight. So, and then GMs are the first ones to make stupid comments, and he basically said we're a quarterback away from a Super Bowl. But okay, what did Case Keenum do? So Case Keenum didn't mean nothing. But here's the thing, no, Zimmer didn't like Case Keenum either.
No, he said he had a horseshoe around his neck all year.
Did he draft Adrian Peterson?
Who?
No, Adrian Peterson was.
No, Brad Childress did.
Brad Childress did.
Brad Childress. Oh wow.
He drafted the wrong guy.
Brad Childress did. But Spielman got him up here thinking that he was going to take that spotlight off of Zimmer. Remember, Zimmer was the first one to say, if this don't work out, we're all out of a job.
Yep. He said it in the offseason.
What did Griffin say? What did Griffin say?
Huh?
What did Griffin say about Kirk Cousins?
Ass.
He's ass. Griffin said he's straight up ass.
It's like, oh man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Just thinking about everything that happened is just like,
I mean,
yeah,
there's been a lot of behind the scenes stuff that nobody has heard about, like the whole Zimmer and Norv Turner, Zimmer and Spielman, Zimmer and Cousins. That right now, which is one of the reasons that TCO, where the Vikings headquarters is, they're so strict on what gets out to the public. I mean, they're really cracking down. My guy is scared. He's scared out there. They've already I shouldn't be saying this, but they've already let people go this week for leaking the TJ Hawkinson story. What happened was a local reporter got hold of it and ran with it and put it out there that he was faking the ear injury in the back. It was a hold in. That's what it was.
Shit, we knew that after the first
I knew that. Anybody that knows that.
I mean, we got kids and stuff. My daughter be having ear injury. She be jumping around the place like it didn't fuck up her equilibrium. Like, come on now. We knew it was.
So it came out. It got out, and the Vikings were trying to spin it that everything was just happy-go-lucky, business as usual, and it wasn't, and it's not.
I knew what it was.
You'd have to be somebody that doesn't pay attention to believe everything that they say. There's a lot of people that
knew
don't.
What it was a couple months ago,
and a lot of people just take the Vikings at their word. But yeah, it's.
So what's your gut feeling? So what's your gut feeling about TJ? So are we trading him? Like, are you calling it right now? We trading him, or do you think we're going to give him a historic contract?
See, here's the thing: he can play. He's still got a year left in his contract.
Yeah, but
and you can franchise him too.
You could franchise him, but he's still going to get guaranteed money if you franchise him. So here's the thing: if TJ is just play it out, and then see what the market's like in the offseason. He's going to get franchised. He can put up a stink and want to be traded.
Are there any other tight ends available for contract extensions right now besides TJ? Are there any other tight ends that need new contracts? Because what could happen too, though, somebody else could get a contract and then they can have that to measure off of. I understand Ingram got a new deal, but I think it's only like a 1-year deal. It's not no long-term shit.
It all depends. See, this is another problem too. The Vikings aren't addressing, and this is with JJ too. Who's going to be throwing them the ball?
True.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, it might be. They might extend.
You know what though? There is talk that he could get an extension.
Yeah.
I hope.
Hey, peep game though, right? Like, look, I told my wife this, and I told her it's like this is a weird comment. Y'all might not get this. I'm gonna stay real slow. What Kirk Cousins is doing right now, since that Netflix documentary, he's making himself really marketable.
No, here's what the Netflix. This is what the
40 years old, man.
This is what the Netflix thing did. And once again, pay attention to what is being said by the Vikings front office. Right now, Kirk's popularity is off the wall. Everybody up here, this is my quarterback. I love it. They all sound like Mike on speed. This is my quarterback. I love him so much. Oh my God, Kirk Cousins is God. But in reality, they've already put it out there. Mark Wilf did.
Stop the cat.
He's leaving it up. He is leaving it up.
That's your quarterback.
He's leaving it up to Quezzy, and he's leaving it up to KOC if Kirk stays. So guess what? If Quezzy moves on from Kirk, Wilf already has an out saying, "Well, it wasn't my call."
That's kind of wild.
He's got a scapegoat.
So basically, if I'm like listening to what you're saying, Tony, it's like, so for one end, they handicapping Quasi to not do certain things, but on another end, it's like, we're gonna give you got to figure out with Kirk Cousins. So either you handicapping him or you not. Like, which one is it? Like, you can't live in two worlds. You can't do that.
You know what though? When it comes to PR and you have a fan base that does not question it, yes, you can.
Yeah.
If nobody questions it, you can.
We calling it right now, though.
Yeah, but we ain't on TV and stuff and on the radio and stuff saying it. Put it this way, I couldn't get on the radio. My ass would have been kicked off a radio like after like 2 shows. They just said, "Nah, he's too divisive."
They got Stephen A. up there, getting a heart attack.
Stephen A. You know what? Stephen A. is a ratings draw for ESPN. He's also a company guy.
Yeah,
he's a company guy. He said he will come after you, but he's got his limits, and he knows what buttons to push. Like with Michael Irvin, and with Swagoo, he pushes their buttons. That's just fuck with the Cowboys.
He be having Michael Irvin up there sweating. I'll be like, man, get that boy some water.
No, that's called I didn't do enough lines and I need to do another couple.
I wasn't gonna say that, but I was
I'll say it. Sure. That's what that's called.
I want to bring up Oliver's cap numbers. So 23 base cap hit is only 2.5 million. If we keep them for 24, 6.1 million, and 2025, 9.4 million.
I'd roll with Oliver.
Any void years on that?
I'd roll with Oliver.
One void year of 2.8 million.
Oh, that ain't even nothing.
Yeah, I'd roll with Oliver.
Man, that shit crazy. I've been said this shit.
Yeah,
you were right. You were right, Zo. All right, we're gonna give you your credit on that one.
All right, Zo. You get. All right, Zo.
Clock is right 2 times a day. You know.
All right, Zo. You get. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I know I've been hard on Zo because he don't know Viking history, but I'm gonna give him credit this time. You were right, Zo. All the credit in the world. Now take your ass to the library, go online, and read about the fucking old school Vikings, and then you'll be okay.
And hey, you never know. D Woods might be right about JJ too.
I am. I am going to be right.
What did you say about JJ again?
They're going to trade JJ.
Say it again, bro.
You know what though? They're gonna. I can see it happening because they got a 1 in Addison.
Yeah, should they trying to replace?
I said that how many months ago? I said that if we can see if Addison this season right now can consistently get separation and be a number 1 receiver, you might as well package your best asset to do what you.
But
need to
also
do.
with Addison, he's got to stay. He's got to stay healthy too. He can't
that's
stay
what-
healthy
Yeah,
either.
he can't. Look, he can't. But what I'm saying though,
On the
like-
back end, D Woods is we gonna see Addison on the football field with TJ and JJ. We haven't seen Addison on the football field without JJ and TJ on the field for him not to get the double coverage. If you
We'll definitely see it week 1.
I'm saying that if you throw your best corner on Jai, his ass might be taken out the game. We haven't seen that yet with Jai.
I believe in him.
So that's why I would say we want to trade JJ for real.
Let's see what we got in like 3-5 weeks, and we can go.
Here's your wild card. Your wild card in the whole Viking offense is: are they going to use Oliver as a pass catching tight end or as a blocking tight end?
Yeah.
They were
And if
using
TJ
both, I think.
And if TJ haven't played or even practiced this whole offseason, preseason, he's not gonna get that many snaps in the first game. He not.
He might get out there and pull a hamstring first play.
So Oliver is probably gonna be the number 1 tight end
TJ
for that
trying to
game.
get the fuck up out of here, man. TJ want that bag.
And he
trying to
deserve it.
trade-
Like I ain't never gonna say a player shouldn't deserve what they.
Every player. Here's the thing with the way that ownership is in all sports, doesn't matter.
And crazy.
Any player, get your money while you can, because you're one injury away from not getting it.
Though, Tony.
Hey,
What?
hey, how
My
you guys
thing
feel
is
about
this, though.
this? How you feel
What?
about this? The Cardinals got $25 million in cap space.
They
What do you
got
feel about trading TJ for Buda Baker?
They got a tight end.
How old is Buda Baker?
He's in his 30s at least.
Buda Baker.
We should have got that linebacker. They traded to the Giant for a 4th round draft pick.
Simmons, yeah, he was playing tonight
Like,
too.
Why we didn't get that though?
He was 27.
27.
Oh, he fits the 27 club, so
But where do you play him at? Who do you take off the field?
you don't. You don't take anybody. You don't take anybody off the field because he fits right in.
But you got to play him somewhere. Who
Yeah,
take
you
out?
play him either the linebacker or safety. He plays a rover.
Okay.
Yeah.
He plays a rover, so he can play safety, or if he's going to take snaps from anybody, Buda would take them probably from Metellus, maybe even Lewis Dean.
It ain't that though. But my thing is, Quasi no deep inside. They not giving TJ no contract. That's why they brought in Josh Oliver on the back end in free agency though. Because that
why would you give
What
him
is
a
this?
second round
Quasi
pick for it?
no.
A second and a 4th.
Yeah, why would
Wasn't
you
it?
give him
Yeah,
that?
and why would you trade in
it
your
was
division?
a mistake. He made a mistake.
He making too many damn mistakes.
He's making too many. If that's the case, he shouldn't have the job.
Exactly.
I'm just letting y'all know.
Okay, so let me break it down to you. Right now, Quezi, this is going to look good on a resume because he's got what 2 more years as a GM.
They got 4-year deals. Him and KL.
He got a 4-year deal. So once that contract is up, depending on what this team is doing, once again they gave themselves an out.
Hey, quick question though: do you think that other dude
what
named
Norfolk
Grigson
talking about?
is pulling strings too?
Who?
The assistant dude, the Quasi went and got the GM that used to be in Indiana, Grigson or whatever his name is. That
Is he a basketball guy?
Nah, he was a GM in for the Colts back in the day when they had Ryan.
You know what?
They had Ryan Luck. And he was a dumbass too. He never gave.
You know what though? Here's the thing.
The fucking offensive line.
Here's the thing though. When you've got people that don't know the sport, and you've got somebody in there who doesn't know the sport, but to them he sounds like a genius.
Yeah.
It could be.
It could be because it's like you had one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and you never gave him a consistent running game or offensive line and getting protected. You was getting Andrew Luck out there blasted, and this is the
Andrew Luck. They were so sure Andrew Luck was going to come back from his injury when he retired. That put that franchise in turmoil.
Yeah,
because they had banked on him to come back.
They wasn't protecting him. I wouldn't come back either if they was just knocking my head off every game.
Pay me $50-100 million. I'm
wait. Andrew Luck had a decent offensive line.
He was still getting blasted though.
He wasn't getting. I think with him, he wasn't getting hit. With him, it was something degenerative. but he wasn't taking a lot of hits. He was still
every year. He was in
he was up there every year.
He will recover from an injury every offseason. He will recover from a fucking injury. He said.
In the games I watched, he wasn't getting hit that much, unless he had lingering injuries, which is a possibility.
Getting hit,
yeah, which is a possibility.
Yeah,
you know, and as long as he's been playing football, it's very possible.
Exactly. He quit. So that's just my theory. I think homeboy is a crazy ear.
Wait a minute. The Vikings need a guard, right?
Yes.
What position is Quentin Nelson?
They ain't not giving him. He that best offensive lineman.
Why keep him around? You ain't got nobody to block. Jonathan Taylor's gone for the most part. If you're going to clean house, clean house.
We can't afford him.
Hey though, Tony, real talk though, Tony, like we can sit here and think about all these ideas. I think at the end of the day, I don't trust Kwesi to actually do these things and actually get them right. I don't trust management. I just don't, because they just.
And here's the thing. I've been told, I mean, I've had people get on my case. Oh, but you're so much smarter than they are. They're the top of the business. I'm like, yeah, but they suck at what they do. They're the tops of what they do, but they ain't doing it very well. They just got people like you that believe them because they have the gig.
All I'm saying is like real talk though. You traded for TJ. That's cool. It was a nice deal. It gave the offense a bump, mid-season at the trade deadline. But you already knew when you traded him that he was going to be needing another contract.
You knew it. And first of all,
so why are you doing this now? And you already know JJ need another contract, and Darisaw going to need a contract too. So like, since
Darisaw is a beast, man.
Darisaw can break the bank. If anybody can break the bank, it's Darisaw.
He ain't re-signed nobody but Kirk Cousins. Ain't nobody else got re-signed besides Kirk. And we can't say Neil Hunter. Yeah, and Bradbury. Come, exactly, Yogi. Like you re-signed Kirk and gave Kirk more money, and then you gave Bradbury a new contract.
Did they give Kirk a new extension last year?
They pushed money up for him, and he got those, and that's why those void years look like that. It's the same situation with the Neil Hunter,
and that's and we can't trade. You can't trade Kirk either because you're still on the hook for a lot of that money.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he ain't re-signed nobody on this roster besides Bradbury.
But here's another thing too. Kirk's agent and Kirk are smart. Kirk knows damn well he can't go anywhere and get a fully guaranteed contract.
Not right now. Not
he wasn't going to get it in the first place. The Jets were the other team that were willing to give him the same amount of money, but not guaranteed. And Spielman made it guaranteed. That's why the Jets were like, "Bye, see you later. We'll draft somebody."
Yeah, and
look at what they did.
They had to trade for Rodgers,
and now they traded for Rodgers. Still got Zach Wilson. But yeah, I mean,
we should trade for him.
We don't have the capital. I mean, there's, to be honest, outside of JJ, Darisaw, Hawkinson, there's no trade value on this team.
It's not.
Because
everybody else got red flags. You can't really trade O'Neal right now.
O'Neal
got an Achilles injury.
O'Neal's coming off an injury. Nobody's going to dare touch him.
Nobody's touching that.
Hunter, you should have traded him when you had the chance.
You shouldn't have traded him last year.
Right, but he was coming off an injury then too.
I've been said this shit, man.
You don't have Harrison Smith is too old.
You feel me, Mike?
Hey, I hope Harrison Smith. I hope he becomes a Vikings coach.
Tapped in with us.
If Zimmer was there, he would. He gonna ride into the sunset. He ain't coming.
Zimmer would still have the same defense there, unfortunately. And we'd be playing is a 4-3.
I like that better, man.
This roster was not built with a 3-4 defense. It was not built. That's why when they hired
Donatell,
they hired Donatel before they hired KLC.
That's ridiculous.
And I'm like, okay, you brought Donatel in because he was supposedly a Vic Fangio disciple.
He was just a guy in the room.
He was a Vic Fangio disciple, bro. But what the thing with Donatel was, he was a 4-3 guy years ago
at Green Bay.
Yeah, he was a 4-3 guy. So if you, as a head coach, if you're going to look at a roster, look at the personnel you have. Build around that personnel you have. Stop putting in this game plan of your ideas, and then all of a sudden, well, I'm going to get these players that fit my game plan, because 9 times out of 10, those players don't fit your game plan either.
Right.
Work with what you've got.
That's what they messed up with last season.
Every coach does it. Every NFL coach does it. Everyone. It's
So
not
y'all,
a,
out, y'all. I gotta go.
All
right,
right,
Mike.
Oh, the Eagles on right now? I didn't. I thought they played already.
Highlights, bro. You about to catch some highlights, see what Jalen Carter is doing. Let me know.
Hey, I told him don't start, Yogi. I told him don't start.
Let me know what Jalen Carter did, Mike.
He's about to go run up some stairs.
Yeah, no, he
Hey,
about
Rocky.
to check Jalen Carter's stats. Let me know what Jalen Carter did, bro.
I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna get you back. All right, y'all.
All right, Mike.
later.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's guys, just brace yourselves. This could be a long year for us.
All right, I'm already hit, man. The offense line ain't shit.
Well, see, here's the thing, Zoe. You got Michigan to fall back on. We ain't got nothing here to fall back on but the damn Gophers.
That was you, baby.
The Gophers ain't shit. They ain't never been shit.
I'm surprised the Vikings don't look at more Minnesota players.
They never have. For
Yeah.
some reason, you've got the talent. You do like take whatever draft it was. You passed on Antoine Winfield Jr.
Right.
You passed on Tyler Johnson. They're both in your town, in your city, in your state. They both go to Tampa Bay and win Super Bowls. But not only were they local talent, they both played positions that you desperately needed.
I'm happy they ain't do that shit. I want shit from the Minnesota Gophers. I want shit from them.
Zoe, read a book and shut the fuck up. All right?
I ain't lying to you, so I don't want shit from the Gophers, man.
read a book and shut the hell up.
I ain't lying to you, man. I want shit from the Gophers, man. For real. I ain't lying.
Well, and that's understandable. I mean,
Yeah, that's for real though. Like,
well, put it this way: like everybody, it's like in my lifetime. Here's what I tell people: on one hand, I can count how many times we beat Michigan in my lifetime.
how many times y'all beat Michigan?
In my lifetime, 5. This is how many times we beat Ohio State in my lifetime.
When last time y'all beat Michigan? What year it was? Do you know offhand?
Yeah, it was
What?
2014, 2015.
On
Jerry Kill was the coach.
on some fluke shit, wasn't it?
No, we beat that ass. Y'all lost like 30-14. Matter of fact, they beat your quarterback so bad he had to leave the game. It was before Harbaugh, the coach you had before Harbaugh.
We had that bump match. That coach was horrible. I forgot what was dog name.
I forget his name, but yeah,
It still count.
it does. It still counts.
Who's your college team, D Woods?
Man, y'all gonna laugh at me. Y'all. I ain't even gonna tell y'all.
No, yes, you are.
Yeah, you know what? If I said the Gophers, you can say whoever the hell it is for you.
Some
It's the
Hurricanes,
Gophers for
man.
him. Shit.
Miami?
Hurricane.
Always follow the Hurricanes out here.
It's about that you.
It's the U, man. I like them bad boys, man. You know, Michael Irvin, them back in the day, you know, Ray Lewis, all them.
We beat
Clem
the
Portis,
41.
You know, it's like the U right now, it ain't what it used to be, but back in the day, like they was a team to watch.
No, there ain't enough cocaine.
It ain't.
Ain't enough cocaine up in that mug.
What Gary's talking about and what Sarah's talking about. I'm trying to read the chat. Because Sarah coming at me because Michigan beat the Gophers ass. She say, but we beat the Lion 80-41-2. I'm not talking about
she on your head.
I'm a Viking fan, though. I'm talking about he's talking about Michigan, the Wolverines, and the Gophers.
Hey, she
Yeah,
know
like-
you just bought
like,
that jersey.
man,
I can see the tag hanging out on it right there, man.
Sarah
Get
be
that
coming
tag
out
on
my
your
head
jersey,
to
man.
be-
Wait a minute, isn't that a subliminal Michigan M on your wall right there,
Oh,
so?
man. See? That ain't got-
There's a subliminal Wolverine on your wall, dude. It's subliminal. That means you can't see it, but it's there.
No, for real though. But I'm saying since I've been watching college football, Michigan mean, Minnesota Gophers ain't been shit.
Here's the deal. For years, the Big Ten was called the Big Two, Little Eight. That was mean the Big Two, Michigan and Ohio State. Everybody else was little.
Yeah.
Here's the thing now with my Gophers. We can't beat Michigan. We can't beat Ohio State. We can't beat Iowa. Only on occasion we beat Penn State. Hell, whatchamacallit's beating our asses now. I think it's Maryland or Indiana.
Maryland?
Yeah, we've lost. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, and it gets worse. Just wait till USC and UCLA get in the division.
Yeah,
We're gonna beat UC. We're gonna beat their ass when they come here in that
hey,
weather.
so
We're
what
gonna
y'all
beat
think is
their
gonna
ass.
happen? Like with these, we got the NIL deals coming in now. More and more. We got the transfer portal more and more. Like what do y'all think? Like the history of college football is gonna be? It ain't gonna be like it used to be. It's gonna be
College football as we knew it is dead.
It's dead, right?
You're gonna have super conferences.
Grab my Michigan jersey, baby. Shit.
And you're gonna have
And bring me my Lions hat.
I wouldn't fuck with you tonight. I'm like, yo, D Wood, that's crazy though. What? I ain't getting on guard.
fifth
No
of yet.
What the fuck, my D? Man, I ain't.
It's all love, so I gotta get you, bro. Yeah,
but with the NILs, that's already changed the game.
Yeah,
you got players going in the transfer portal now after 1 year.
Addison.
Exactly. I mean, put it this way. I'll use my Gophers as an example.
what up to you?
We've got guys that are going into transfer portal left and right. It seems like every year we've got more and more guys going into transfer portal.
Who your other college team you like besides the Gophers? The Gophers ain't shit. Who else you like?
Honestly,
it gotta be another team.
Honestly,
yes.
I don't want to say it because I don't.
Michigan?
You gotta say it.
Keep it real. We keeping it real tonight. We keep it real on this channel.
It's Michigan.
Okay. Hey, Sharon, keep it real.
It's Michigan.
Feel good to get that shit out, don't it? Not you would. We know you like USC in the Rams. Not keep it real.
Now my uncle went to UCLA, growing up.
Like
so
them.
we never liked SC in our household.
So
we
who
never
your
did.
team?
USC is usually
University of Spoiled Kids. That's what my uncle used to
that's a SoCal school.
Yeah, it's in the hood too.
It's in the hood, yeah.
It's in the hood.
It's in the hood.
It's in the hood. I used to stay like right down the street from it, like not too far back in the day, but it's in the hood. That's how people be like, "Oh my God, I love the campus." I'm like, "What campus?"
The hood in LA, huh?
It's in the hood. It's in the hood.
It's in the hood. Yeah.
In the hood.
The Christian Bloods there, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's right in their hood. For real,
yeah.
for real.
I was this close to being.
I see you
USC
got your hat
fan.
cocked to the left and shit. What are you, a Christian Blood?
Honestly, I liked USC when they had
Hoover gang, nigga.
That's where SC is at. It's right there.
Hoovers.
Right there.
Yes.
By all that, like it ain't UCLA campus. UCLA campus is all nice. They pick up the trash behind you and everything. It's all good. But you go to SC, yeah. SC,
they be crip walking to class. D Woods.
Wait. I gotta talk about this though.
What?
I mentioned watch this video. Yogi, you posted a video on your page say your top 3 quarterbacks coming out, but you ain't had Caleb Williams as your top 3 quarterback.
No,
Huh?
those are my top 3 realistic picks.
Oh,
that the
okay.
Vikings. Yeah, it's not my top. Who I think the top 3 quarterbacks are. It's my
Okay.
top 3 realistic picks of the Vikings grabbing without having to trade a bunch of capital.
For the Vikings though to even get one of them top quarterbacks, they'd have to tank.
No, but hey,
Kirk gotta get hurt. That's what we gotta look forward to.
Hey, but look though, hey, Tony and D Woods and Yogi, the rest of y'all. But look though, like
We
my
the only ones here.
What you say? Hey, what you say?
Let me ask a question to all 3 people in the room with me. Yogi, D Woods, Tony, and the rest of y'all.
Hey, but look though, but for real though, Tony saying that, like a lot of people say that, and they be writing me on my page and shit, talk about how can the Vikings draft a number one quarterback? Why can't we draft up to the number one draft pick in NFL draft? Like, why can't we do that though?
Oh, you mean move? You mean trade up?
Yeah, what's so hard?
We don't have the collateral.
Tony though. But why can't we though? We can if we want to, right?
We can if we want to, but we'd have to tank.
How we had a tank?
We'd have to be in the top, well,
because
top 5 at least.
Because the quarterback that we have, Kirk Cousins, is a middle of the road quarterback. His record is 500. He gonna give you at least 5 to 6 games to win, and it ain't gonna get you the first pick in the draft.
You need is talking about just giving up.
What I'm saying.
You're talking about in the draft trading up, no matter where we are.
Yeah, like
give up 3 first.
Like I'm saying this though.
But
I'm saying we could be at pick 21.
Okay.
Why can't we move it to pick like number 8 or number 6 in NFL
because because you'd have to mortgage your future to do it.
Yeah. You got to do what San Francisco did, and they traded 3 first-round draft picks and got a 4th back.
In order for Minnesota to even, if they're like you said, 21, to move up into that top 5 pick, maybe even a number 1 pick, they'd have to mortgage their future probably 3 ones and a couple of 2s.
Why not? We drafted
because with a lot of teams.
Lewis Seen in the first round, and I don't care what D Wood say or nobody else. Lewis Seen is a bust in the first round draft pick. Like, what difference do it make?
Because when it comes to draft choices, which they shouldn't think of this, but a lot of teams we've been told that the best way to build your team is through the draft. And if you don't have the collateral to do it, then you're screwed.
Right. I feel you, though. But my thing is, though, Tony, we only giving up 3 first-round picks. We still got a 2nd and 3rd in the rest of the drafts.
But here's the thing, though. Unless, depending on who you trade with, depending on how you do those 3 years that you give up those first-round draft choices, say you are still bottom, you're like winning maybe 5-6 games a year. Whoever got those draft picks is back in the top 5 getting a player that you desperately need.
So let me ask you this, though, Tony. Let me ask you this. Let me do this. And the rest of y'all on the channel. I ain't gonna say no name. And everybody else on the channel. Because y'all picking shit and doing all type of shit, though. But look, though. So what if we trade 3 first-round pick and TJ Hockenson to the Arizona Cardinals for the 1st or they 3rd or 4th pick, whatever they got for the Houston Texans in the 1st round for a quarterback? Can we do that?
We could.
We could. But here's the thing. But it depends on who the quarterback is.
I'm saying though, but people acting like they comment on my channel like we can't do the shit.
We can do any trade we want. But the realistic thing is, and this is realistic, if you don't have the collateral, and many of them won't bank their future on it. Because right then, like your trade, you're giving up 3 ones.
And TJ Hockenson.
And you got to understand where them 3 runs is going to be at, too.
Yeah.
If you got 3 ones that you're consistently always drafting in the 20s or lower, your 3 ones are really equivalent.
Your 3 ones are really nothing.
Second round picks.
Hey, look, though, D Woods, I'm happy you said that. Do y'all know what pick Patrick Mahomes was in the NFL draft when they drafted him?
Yeah, he was like 16 or 14, something like that. They traded up to get him.
He was higher than that.
They traded up to get him, though.
They traded up with the Bears.
Yeah, they traded up to get him.
Yeah, and the Bears took Trubisky, I think. Is that the draft that they took Trubisky?
I think so.
But they ain't trade with them though. They moved up to like pick number 10 or some shit, and they was in the low 20s though when they drafted him.
But at that time though, like you got to understand, like Pat Mahomes coming into the league, he wasn't really like supposed to be like Pat Mahomes. But you gotta understand though, like the dynamic. You got Andy Reid, who knows how to develop quarterbacks and knows how to identify quarterbacks. Look at how many guys, offensive coordinators, Andy Reid done had,
and also Andy Reid was lucky enough that Patrick Mahomes sat behind, who was it? Alex Smith? He sat behind Alex Smith. And when Mahomes took over, the Kansas City offense didn't miss a beat.
No, but that's how it has to be.
Yeah.
It's
But
just
all I'm
similar,
saying is-
like back in the day with Cincinnati. Cincinnati had John Kitna down there, but they drafted Carson Palmer with the, I think, first pick or whatever, set him for a year, and then that offense exploded. But like they was able to do that because they were so trash. You got to understand, like with the Vikings though, like when we're talking about like moving up the capital, the Viking capital might not be the same capital that maybe like the Arizona Cardinals have, because they were picking at the top. Our capital is a little bit different because we like 15, 20 below or whatever. It doesn't really mean anything. So you would have to give more capital to just to move up to that.
You know what? And the perfect example of when you make a trade like that and it backfires on you.
Hey Dante,
the Herschel Walker trade
pick in that year. But Kansas City move up. Kansas City move up. I want to say 13 picks to get Patrick Mahomes.
But they had the collateral too.
And they had the coach.
Draft picks.
And they had the coach. They had the coach. They had the coach.
Like think about it though, like real talk.
You ain't got no faith in Arsenal. What you saying?
I don't.
No.
I don't, because it's just like we just had the conversation maybe 20 minutes ago. Like the Vikings are putting out this narrative that KLC is this quarterback guru, whisperer, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the Rams won a Super Bowl, but they won a Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford. He was drafted #1 overall for Georgia. That was actually the first time he had a team around him that could actually get shit done, a defense or whatever. So did KLC actually whisper him into a Super Bowl? Hell no, he didn't.
Here's another thing with KLC too.
Here's a question for everybody. Hold on. So Gary asked, we'll each answer. What you guys willing to give up to move up for the quarterback of the future?
That's what I want to know.
Y'all already know my answer.
What?
JJ and a couple of picks. Give me back two firsts and 2 seconds. I'll trade JJ in a heartbeat.
Okay,
that's our biggest asset.
Okay, but
the only trade you got to get that quarterback is JJ.
It's JJ. That's it.
Put it this way: you're not going to give up Darasol if you're bringing in a QB of the future, because you're going to have somebody block for that kid.
Exactly.
JJ plays, and as good as he is, he plays a position that is oversaturated with talent in football, and that's wide receiver.
And you just drafted JJ for the placement in Addison right now.
Hey, can I ask y'all a question?
You can get a JJ any other time.
Hey, can I ask y'all a question? Do y'all think JJ and CD Lamb is on the same level?
No.
So why would you trade up a first round pick like JJ, and you can trade 3 first round picks to move up in the NFL draft?
But here's the thing,
JJ will help he will help your quarterback.
But with a team like the Vikings, in order to do that pick, some teams are going to want something in return right now. So the only option you have is JJ. But
because you got to think about like this.
First of all, TJ's a tight end.
Like, okay,
he's a good tight end though.
Like, I'm gonna give you a perfect example.
But I'm giving you 3 first round picks though, Tony.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, if you're gonna give me 3 first round picks for TJ Hawkinson, just to move up,
yes,
you're fired as a GM.
Think about it like this though, right?
That's too much.
So
that's way too much.
So you gotta understand it, like you gotta be able to leverage JJ to a team that actually needs a receiver to get them over the hump.
And also though, with your thinking, those 3, and this is what me and D Wood said before, those 3 number 1 draft choices that you're willing to give up set your franchise back at least 3 years.
Yeah.
I disagree with that. Can I ask you a question, Tony?
Okay, you know what? This is where history comes into part. This is where history comes in for you, okay? Look up the Herschel Walker trade.
Worst trade in history in the NFL.
Can I ask you a question, though?
What?
If the Minnesota Vikings actually knew how to draft, what difference do it make?
If they knew how to draft, they wouldn't be. If they knew how to draft, you wouldn't have the 2 drafts you've had the last 2 years.
Hey, look though, Tony. My thing is this though. Let's say Minnesota Vikings at pick number 21 or 22.
Okay.
And the quarterback far in the draft, and we want to move up to pick number 12. You might give a what? 2 first round picks for the quarterback you know is the future and who you want.
But who's identifying?
But who's identifying? 1, who's identifying it, and 2, Are you sure? Because there's been a lot of quarterbacks in the future that ain't been crap, Johnny Manziel, but there's been a lot.
But Johnny Manziel was. How you have? Let me ask you the question though, Tony, and the rest of y'all on the channel. Did y'all have faith that Johnny Manziel coming out of Texas A&M when he came out there?
No, not at all. Not at all.
That
Not at all.
Draft pick. Like Justin Fields to me.
But you know what? I have faith in Teddy Bridgewater.
Me too.
I did too till he got injured.
And they traded up to get him. And you know where they traded up to get him at? They traded up
31.
31 pick against New England.
Yep.
That's what it was. And they got Anthony Barr, I think at like 9 that year. And they traded back in the first round to get him.
First of all, when you make
you gotta think about it though.
But here's another.
Already had a quarterback, so that was the trade partner. If they wasn't going to draft a quarterback.
Yep. Here's another thing too, Zoe. You don't want to look desperate.
Because then they going.
Everybody know Minnesota desperate though.
But you don't want to look it. You don't.
My thing is this though, Tony, and D. No, I'm gonna say this. I ain't gonna say no name.
Oh, wait. We about to have a party up in here. Hold on. Give me a second, fellas.
Yeah, I got some shit to say.
Who coming in here?
Justin don't make because I'm trying to figure it out. Like,
we're Justin.
why not draft?
I already knew who it
What up, Justin in the building, y'all?
What up, Justin?
What up, Jay Money?
Hey, look like you sleep. You all right, man?
You all
You
need a shot.
You all tripping.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take a shot for you, Jay
Justin,
Money.
let's see what you got to say, Justin. I want to hear what you got to say.
No, man, because I didn't even hear half of what you guys have said for the last 2 hours, so I don't even know where to start. Yeah. How many weeks you gonna talk about trading Justin Jefferson?
They brought it up.
Zoe brought it up.
They brought it up, and then we had somebody in the chat brought it up.
No, Gary brought it up.
Yeah, somebody in the chat brought it up.
Gary brought it up.
I said trade TJ.
All I'm saying is this. If option A is to trade Justin Jefferson to get a pile of picks, whatever they are, in order to get your quarterback, why can't you just use a pile of your own picks and keep Justin Jefferson? That's all I want to know.
Because I feel like this. Your picks is not going to equivalent what you're going to need to move up. You're going to have to give the other team something in return. Because if you're trying to trade your picks and your picks are like 20, 25 or whatever for a team that's already at the top of the first round, that means when the second round come around, they at the top of the second round. You need to give them something in return for them to actually give you that pick back. That's how I look at it.
3 first round picks.
Yes. Let's say you're at 25 and you're trying to get up to what? 8? Is about where you
need trying to get the top 10.
Top 10.
All right, let's just say 8. So you give up the 2024 first round draft pick, which let's just say is around the 25th pick.
Okay.
Then you add the 2025 pick first round to 2026 pick first round. And if you need to, the 2027 pick first round. I would rather give my first round pick in 2024, which is around 25, plus 3 additional first round picks in the next 3 years. I would rather give up that than give up Justin Jefferson.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you.
Now you might be right. That might not be enough for
it. It ain't gonna be enough.
It's not gonna be enough. Yeah.
It's not gonna be
enough.
How?
4 first round picks, fine, and give up 4.
Well, we said 3. Now you're going 4.
But
I'm saying your existing first round pick plus 3 additionals. So that's
we said 3 though, right? So you said 3 first round
either
picks.
Way, I don't care.
No, I'm saying what Justin said. I say this first round pick next year and the year after next. But Kansas City did it with Patrick Mahomes and moved up to spot number 10.
It's Kansas City though, man.
That's Kansas City though.
But
that's
saying
Andy,
y'all
that's
moving
Andy
goalposts
Reid.
now. What difference do it make?
It makes a difference because it's like
they both had picks in the 20s.
I don't believe that this franchise, front office or coaching staff can actually identify a quarterback.
But
I don't believe that. So even if they trade up to get him, we don't know what we getting at.
But that doesn't change the argument.
But that's your personal decision, your personal opinion.
That's true. It is.
But my point is,
but D Woods, here's what I'm saying, D Woods. If you don't believe in the coaching staff in the front office, then it doesn't matter if you traded your own picks
or if you traded JJ to get other people's picks and use those to make the trade. If you can't evaluate,
That's
you
true.
can't evaluate.
That's true.
Thank
So
you,
do you? So Justin, you honestly think what is our biggest asset on this team?
Well, of course, it's
TJ
Justin
and JJ.
Jefferson.
It's Justin Jefferson.
The only
that's
asset.
That's the only
Yeah.
asset.
And
So what
TJ,
I'm
only
saying
asset.
is,
don't do
so my
TJ
whole-
like that.
I'm gonna do TJ like that.
Don't do TJ like that.
Oh
My
yeah.
whole thing with the whole JJ situation.
Yeah.
I told you before, Justin. I love him. He's a great guy or whatever. But at this point, with contracts being, voided, kicked down the line or whatever, he can actually help reset this franchise going down, for a couple of years if you trade him before he
But
gets
there's another
paid.
way to
It's
do that.
not going to work that way.
Why
You
would
don't-
it?
This team has kicked a lot of money down the road.
That's what I'm saying.
years.
Like,
You want
we're
to
not
know how
thinking-
you do it without trading JJ?
How?
You don't resign Kirk Cousins next year, and you accept the fact that 2024 will be a 5-win season. Because now you don't need to trade JJ to get into the top 10,
But
and
are
you
the
don't
Wits
need to
gonna
trade.
accept that?
Well, again, we're talking about what it would take. We're not talking about
in
what,
reality,
In
we're talking
reality.
about what it would take.
In reality,
right now-
are the Whips going to accept
Yeah,
that?
we're not talking about just fan base that really don't know what the hell they're about this.
That's just what
well,
I'm saying.
a lot.
though.
You know what though? More of the fan base is coming around, Tony, to our way of thinking, which is being in the middle. We've been in the middle long enough.
We've been in the middle for how many years?
About 4 decades.
Thank you.
I'm 44 years old. We've been to the NFC Championship game 5 times. So basically, in my lifetime, we go once every 8 to 10 years. And so every 10 years, and I've done this bit before, every 10
Mhm.
years, you have 1 or 2 bad seasons, you have 1 or 2 great seasons, and you have 8 seasons somewhere between 7 and 10 wins where you're stuck in the middle.
Right in the middle.
See,
The
me and
problem
you
with this franchise is
is
that
they're happy with it. It sells tickets.
here, I've said this one too. There's 3 kinds of teams: 6 wins or fewer, 11 wins or more, and 7 to 10. This is the Wilfs just finished owning this team. Last year was their 18th season. 4 seasons, 6 wins or below. 4 seasons, 11 wins or more. 10 seasons at 7 to 10 wins, and that's where they want to be. You said it, I've said it, we've all said it.
Okay.
So we can talk about trading JJ, but what's SK and Rap and Yogi were on earlier, and I know Yogi just muted us for a second. Hopefully he can still hear it. SK going on and on
I'm
about,
still here. My dog is barking because
No,
there's a
that's fine.
Bengals fan.
But you remember
in
what
the
SK
house.
was saying about how we got to extend Kirk because there's no better options than Kirk. Stop with the notion.
Stop with that notion.
Who
Yeah.
said-
Stop
SK.
with this notion
ain't
that.
shit.
But he's the best what we got right now is his point, and
And
he's
what,
fallen
though?
in. He's fallen into the trap of what the Wilfs want.
Yep.
The Wilfs don't want to move off Kirk unless they can find something greater than or equal to Kirk, and that's regardless of what we think of Kirk. Okay, their mindset is okay. Option A is to keep Kirk. If we get rid of Kirk, is what we bring in to replace him as good? If the answer is no, then they're not going to move off of him. It's as simple as that.
Kirk
They don't want to
keeps
move off of
butts-
him
Yep.
until
Kirk-
they can find something as good or better.
Kirk keeps butts in the seats.
Yes. And that's the problem right
Yep.
now. We have to accept that with all of this conversation that you've had, and everybody's made good points, and then it's not that one point is right or that one point is wrong, but it's materially missing the overall point, which is what the Wilfs are trying to do is they're trying to get better without paying the price of a season where they're bad. That's what they're trying
Yeah.
to do. And guess what? They've shown that that's damn near impossible. First off, the Vikings organization has shown you that that's pretty near impossible, which is why they are the winningest franchise in men's sports without a championship, because they never want to be bad. And nobody's saying we want them to be bad. We don't want to be what Detroit was or what Cleveland was or what Jacksonville. Well, I'm not saying we want that, but as a franchise and as a fan base that is starving for a Super Bowl, we already hungry. I don't mind starving for 1 or 2 years at being bad so that we can clear the salary cap decks, so that we can get rid of older, aging veterans, and so that we can be in a position to get a young quarterback who
So with all that
isn't
being
costing
said, though,
money.
Justin, if you traded Justin Jefferson and that equaled you a Super Bowl, would you be okay with that?
Of course I'd be okay with it.
End of
But
discussion then.
it's not end of discussion. It's not end of discussion at all. Trading Justin Jefferson doesn't guarantee you a Super Bowl.
It doesn't guarantee you a Super Bowl. But what I'm saying is though,
But
if-
just same thing. Keeping him
if
doesn't
you-
guarantee one either.
Exactly. So
No,
keeping
it
them
doesn't.
keeps you
But what I'm
keeping them keeps you in
okay, whatever.
purgatory too.
Not necessarily.
Well, no, but the problem with
Keeping
Justin
Jeff. Oh, go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say the problem with keeping Justin Jefferson is the diva phase could kick in.
It already has.
You know,
No, it
that's
hasn't.
not yet.
Not yet.
It could though. Hey, but it could kick
Who's
in.
that? Who's that? Who is that? You're muted.
You're muted.
You muted.
Oh, that's the Bengal fan that's making my dog bark.
Oh,
She
okay.
came in, wearing that orange, and my dogs are like, "Oh hell no, not in this house."
So what I'm saying, though, Justin, is like we understand that Justin Jefferson is all world. He is the best receiver in the league, right? So with having the best receiver in the league, you're gonna win games with him, right?
But that's number 2 in the ranking, though. I hear what you're saying. I was just going to say that.
Okay. I'm following you.
But the first in the position is having Kirk Cousins.
That's true. But what I'm also saying is because I look at it like this. I'm looking at the contract situation also. Justin Jefferson is probably going to be paid as the biggest non-quarterback contract in the history of the NFL at that moment, because Jamar Chase is probably going to break that the next year.
You know what? And I will just say barring injury.
Barring injury, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, though, it would be more, and better for the franchise if you traded Justin Jefferson before you have to re-sign that new contract, get him off the books to another team on this rookie deal, get you some draft picks back, move up in the draft to where you want. We don't know who they're going to evaluate or whatever, but now you don't have that contract on the books, and now you really can reset this franchise the right way without kicking, money down the road. That's what I'm looking at. I feel like Justin Jefferson, in that point, if you trade Justin Jefferson, he gets us out of this rut.
But what
financially
I'm saying,
and with the draft picks.
All I'm saying is, to me, I don't do that until I've done that with Kirk first. Because, for example, let's say you trade Justin Jefferson. Let's do the D Woods plan, but you keep Kirk Cousins.
I'm not saying.
I'm just saying, for me, what I'm saying is, I got to get rid of Cousins first.
I'm not really thinking about Cousins right now, because I feel like with Kirk Cousins, you already are at the end of the road with Kirk Cousins, because he doesn't have a contract.
We don't know that.
We don't know that.
We don't know that. We don't know that. But what I'm saying is, though, right? If you trade Justin Jefferson and you already know you don't have to pay him that top money or whatever, then you can just go ahead and move on to Kirk, because you got the draft picks to actually go up and identify somebody.
But what I'm saying is, if you convince the Wilfs to move off of Justin Jefferson, if you could, in this hypothetical scenario, that whatever gains you may realize are completely lost. You've got to, if you're going to make that move, you have to make it on both of them. You can't make it on just Justin Jefferson.
But AD Wood, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Every team we seen do good in the NFL, they try to go out and get a number 1 wide receiver. Buffalo did it, Miami did it, and the Eagles did it, and a lot of other teams did it. So why would we trade a true number 1 wide receiver for draft picks if we could trade our own draft picks, if we can draft a fucking quarterback who can really be a quarterback of the future for the Minnesota Vikings?
Because Justin Jefferson on this
then
team
we're gonna
right
be chasing
now,
the receiver again.
Because Justin Jefferson is your biggest asset on this team as of right now.
I'm saying, but why trade him though? Everybody want number 1 wide receiver.
Because he's your biggest asset. He's the biggest catch on your team
No,
right
our
now.
asset,
D Woods, where you at?
Our assets are the draft picks.
He's your biggest asset.
D Woods, where you stay? You in Minnesota?
No, I'm in LA.
Cali.
Oh,
I'm in
okay.
Cali.
Here's where I was going. Antonio backed me on this.
Justin,
You know what?
Brown fan.
You know what you sound like right now? You sound like a Timberwolves fan when it was at the end with Kevin Garnett. Well, Kevin Garnett's our biggest asset. We got to trade him. And it's been 20 years.
No, you said at the end of Kevin Garnett. Justin Jefferson is not at the end of his career. He's still haven't hit his prime yet.
But it's the same. It's the same
That's
thing.
the difference.
It's the same thing.
It's a little different. I can see
Kevin Garnett still had
no.
Why would you trade Justin Jefferson, who is a true number 1 wide receiver, who would help your young quarterback? And every team in the NFL want a true number 1 receiver to help their quarterback to get over the hump. Every team did it. If the Eagles ain't drafted for AJ Brown, Do y'all think the Eagles would be who they was right now?
No.
All right.
Mm,
I won't give
maybe,
you guys
maybe
a
not.
scenario.
Maybe not. They still
I'm
had
just,
the
no,
defense.
I'm just,
Go
no,
ahead,
I'm just
Yogi.
saying, no. But
Go
the
ahead,
Eagles
Yogi.
traded for a true number one wide receiver.
I won't give you a scenario that will fit D Wood's scenario. You
D.
trade
Wood's a
Justin
drinker.
Jefferson for three first rounds. That's going to give us 3 first rounds or 2 first rounds next year.
What did Tyreek go for?
That's different because Tyrese was a little bit older and he was on a contract year.
Tyreek was
But
on
what
a-
did he go?
So they had to pay him
No,
as soon as he got to Miami. But
no,
go
I'm
ahead,
saying,
Yogi.
what did he go for though?
A lot. See, my personal opinion, I don't even think we need to move up because I don't think Arizona's going to give up that pick for
Arizona
Caleb
gonna keep Kyler Murray, man.
But go ahead with your analogy though, Yogi.
But what? Yeah, what you saying? Yeah.
So we'd have that first for a quarterback, another first for a guard like Cooper Beebe. Second round, we go get someone like Malik Neighbors, LSU wide receiver, one of the top wide receivers in the country. You have Jordan Addison and Josh Oliver, and there you go.
And you know what other thing about that too, Yogi? They all on rookie contracts.
Exactly.
And
So
actually,
you got a 5-year window.
That makes
you got
sense.
a 5-year window.
That's what I'm talking
Well, look,
about right there.
Then
Hey, Yogi.
free agency. Then free agency is when you go you spend some of those that money you're saving to go get some dogs on defense and some another good interior offensive line. There you go.
You ready to go
Hey,
for the next
Yogi.
5 years? Thank you, Yogi. I
But
appreciate
Yogi,
it.
Why the
Well, here's
receiver? Why the receiver got to be from LSU though?
Because he's one of the because it's LSU, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Why he got to be from LSU out of everywhere
for
though?
days.
But here's another one. You talked about, this woman that just came in that was a Bengals fan. Okay. This is what I went with 2 years ago when we were trying to decide to keep Mike Zimmer or not. Look at Cincinnati, and they had Marvin Lewis, and they were going to the playoffs every year. Every year they went in 10, 11 games, and every year they couldn't get past the wild card round. I think they might have won one, but it doesn't really matter.
I don't think they won any.
No, I don't think they did.
No.
And then look at the Buffalo Bills with Rex Ryan and Tyrod Taylor. So you had Cincinnati, who had the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton, who is at that time now. We're talking about 2015, 14 through 17.
AJ Green, those guys.
Yeah, you had AJ Green.
Andy Dalton and AJ Green were Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson. Now I'm not saying AJ Green better than I'm just saying at the time.
That scenario, they were that
type of
scenario.
tier
equivalent.
They were
The
that
equivalent.
equivalent. That scenario.
And what did we say as fans of every other team except Cincinnati? Why are they holding on to Marvin Lewis and why are they holding on to Andy Dalton? Andy Dalton's a good, not great quarterback. You could do a lot worse than Andy Dalton, but you've shown over and over again you can only get so far. And what did Cincinnati do? They finally fired Lewis and they finally moved on from Dalton. And they were terrible for a couple years. And then they hired a new coach and they were in position to get their franchise quarterback. Now, to a certain extent, Joe Burrow getting injured his rookie year was a stroke of luck. Because now they got another top 5 pick and got chased.
They got chased.
So my point is Cincinnati was willing to say we are going to be bad for a year or two.
I understand.
So they didn't have to trade away a bunch of do the trade that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So to me, if you're giving me door number 1 is trading JJ and doing it the way you described it, or door number 2 is being bad for a couple of years, because guess what? If you had JJ and let's just say Jaren Hall as your 2024, you're going to win 5-6 games.
Yeah.
5 or 6 games. Now you in a position where you've let all those bad contracts go away, and then in 2025 you got a top 10 pick, and if Jaren Hall is not the answer, you get a quarterback in the top 10, and now you can start signing players because now you've paid off all your salary cap debts. All I'm saying is, to me, in 2025 in that scenario, yes, I have JJ on his market value taking up a chunk of money, but I've got oodles and oodles of money freed up because the salary cap debts are paid.
I'm gonna rebuff
That's all
that.
I'm saying.
Hey Tony,
All
I'm
right,
gonna need your help with this one because this might be some history lessons, right? So when the Dallas Cowboys, no, because he know more shit than me, so I'm gonna go to the guy who know his shit. So
no, it's more I'm laughing at Tony telling Zoe to read the history books.
so Tony, when the Dallas Cowboys traded Herschel Walker, those draft picks that they got from the Minnesota Vikings, did that not help them create their dynasty in the 90s?
Oh hell yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you do with Justin Jefferson.
Look who
But
they coach was.
here's your flaw though. Here's the flaw in your logic.
But that's what I'm saying though. The Dallas Cowboys did it, and they won 3 Super Bowls.
But you'll never get anybody to make any kind of a deal like that ever again.
But what I'm saying
That's
is
one point.
all I'm asking for Justin Jefferson is 2 firsts and 2 seconds. That's all I want.
But here's what you're not seeing though, D Wood. Dallas, when they made that trade with Herschel Walker to the Vikings,
We're already
they
terrible.
were already terrible.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys got Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman with top 3 picks that were their own picks. The Vikings picks were picks that they had in addition to that. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's the only thing I'm pointing out to you is when they traded Herschel Walker to get all the Vikings picks were in the 20s.
Yeah. When the Cowboys were what 2-14.
2-14.
In 1988, that's when Jerry Jones came in, fired Tom Landry, brought in Jimmy Johnson. The team was already bad. The team was terrible. And
they were terrible for a couple more years before they finally put it together.
Yeah, they were terrible for a couple of years.
So they had 3 years where they're drafting number 1 or 2 overall to get Troy Aikman, and then after that, drafting Emmitt Smith the next year because they were terrible still.
Plus, not to mention, I think with the Viking draft picks, I think they might have got, was it Russell Maryland?
Russell Maryland was one. Rod Woodson was one.
All guys who contributed to that Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
But my point is that the Cowboys didn't build their Super Bowl dynasty exclusively on the Vikings.
But it helped.
The Cowboys did get a ton of drafts. They got not drafts, but they got a ton of free agents.
But all I'm saying, Justin,
because they didn't have any contracts eating up all their salary cap.
At the end of the day, though, Justin, so you really feel like the only way this team could actually get better is not to trade the best asset, whoever you think it is actually just to be a bad team and have your own draft picks.
What I'm saying is, in fact, somebody wrote a book about it. I forget which one of them guys. I don't know if it was Eric Eager or whatever else that did the study on. Okay, you remember I said there's 3 levels of teams. There's the horrible, and then there's the middle, and there's the great. When you've been stuck in the middle for so long, it's more difficult to get to the great from the middle than it is to do it from the bottom because you're drafting higher. So that's why I have said maybe take a step back in order to take 2 steps forward. You've all heard me give this analogy.
Yeah, we heard it. But do you think the Wilfs will actually do that?
The Wilfs will never do it.
That's the problem.
Yeah. The problem is what we've said all along. It's not like I've said, Justin might agree with me, maybe not. Kwesi's handcuffed.
Yes.
I agree
with you.
He's handcuffed. He's taking orders. He's getting marching directions from an owner and a guy that knows nothing about football. So, Kwesi's going to be the scapegoat in a lot of things.
I mean, imagine going to a job interview where you know that the guy who was there before you has run his course and hasn't gotten the job done. And then the people who interview you say, I think you can do a better job than this guy. You say, okay, great. But you have to do this, this, and this. And you say to that guy, wait a minute, you want me to do the same things that the guy you just about fired, and then you expect me to do better or differently when I'm working with the same rules and the same constrictions? I'm not going to give Kwesi a pass for his drafts. Okay, we all agree to that. But what is his draft? He got ripped off by the Lions.
We don't know yet.
I'm saying he got ripped off by the Lions.
It's pretty. I'll tell you what, he got ripped off by the Lions and the Packers.
I don't know about the Packers, but we that's not.
Watts is going to be pretty decent.
Okay, I'll give you that. But my point is that
Another receiver. Where was he drafted at?
He's 2.
But where was he drafted at when he got drafted?
the second round.
Second round.
You
Yeah.
can get another receiver to Perry Addison in the second round.
And we traded, and we made that trade.
But what I'm saying is that a lot of people are like I've said this too. I put the different bins. I have different bins of the general manager job. There's the draft. There's the draft day trades. There's the free agent signings. There's the extensions of your existing players. The free agency stuff and the draft and the contract stuff. You can't blame Kwesi for that. You can't be upset that Kwesi is playing hardball with Daniil Hunter or playing hardball with TJ Hawkinson when we just got done yelling at Rick Spielman for years saying, oh, you just giving money away to everybody. You re-signing Dalvin Cook. You re-signing Anthony Barr. You re-signing Eric Hendricks. Everson. All these guys. So now that Kwesi is not doing with TJ Hawkinson what Rick Spielman did with all those players, you're like, why is Kwesi pinching pennies here and there and everywhere? I'm like, because he doesn't have anything to work with.
He has nothing to work with at all. That's the problem. He has nothing.
You're trying to tell the guy, clean up this mess. Don't make the mess any worse. And when he doesn't make the mess any worse, you're saying, well, the last guy found a way to keep players. Like, I'm looking forward to my next live with Rap because he's just like, I'm sick of this penny pinching, and Rick Spielman at least kept our good players. And what did that get us?
That. I did hear that.
My brother, what did that get us? It's gotten us 5 years and 2 playoff appearances and 1 playoff victory. You guys, I was listening to SK earlier, and he's just like, we don't appreciate Kirk Cousins because, we got to think back to Christian Ponder and Tavares Jackson. Christian Ponder and Tavares Jackson have just as many combined playoff appearances as Kirk Cousins does.
Hey, the thing with that with Justin, and I ain't gonna try to throw y'all ages out there like that.
No, it's fine.
That's fine. I don't care. I own my age.
Y'all older than us, like y'all OGs in the game. Y'all done seen more football than we can even think of, right? So y'all already know what the situation is. Y'all already tired. Y'all want a damn Super Bowl now. With us, like I've been a Viking fan since '98. Basically, when I really start liking football. So I can't talk about anything, before that. Y'all can. So y'all already have the angst and y'all be like, hell no, this ain't happening. That's where that comes from.
And see, with me, I think I'm the only one here who saw the team in their glory years.
Yogi, did you see him in the Super Bowl? How old are you, Yogi?
47. But
all right, so
I became a Vikings fan in 2001.
I was about to say,
when Willie got drafted. But I saw the guys that set the standard for Vikings football,
right?
For what this team is. So looking at you did, but you actually saw some decent players.
I was born in '79, so the '87 run was about where I like. Really
that was kind of a run. I mean, Jerry Burns was a coach, so that's kind of a run off of Bud. But since Denny, it's been kind of like, this whole current generation, I feel bad for them because they really have nothing to grade the team on.
That's us.
That's you guys.
That's us. That's what I'm saying. Like that's us. Like that's why we think Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback, because that's the best quarterback
quarterback you've ever seen as a Viking is Kirk Cousins.
That's what I'm saying.
I would argue Dante, but it's 6-1.
Yeah, I would say Dante. I would say Dante. Whereas I can say Tarkenton.
Right.
The best guys you've seen on defense were the Williams Wall, where I can say I saw the Purple People Eaters, Chris Dolman.
Exactly.
So there is that divide, but
right. I think what you're saying, D-Will, is you've seen what the Detroit Lions have been up until the Matt Stafford era, where now they aren't terrible, but they're still not very good. Yeah. You've seen the Cleveland Browns be horrible for a decade.
Right.
And from your perspective, what the Vikings represent, which is always good, rarely great, and rarely horrible, that mediocrity looks good to you.
No, I'm not saying it looks good to me. I never said the mediocrity looks good to me. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I want a damn Super Bowl. I ain't trying to be old and grizzled like you guys. And
This
never seen one.
generation,
I ain't trying to that.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, like, let's try something different. Trade the best player, whatever you got to do, get some draft picks, and maybe we can move on from there. I don't like the mediocrity myself. It sucks. Like, I can't even argue with guys out here in California. They're like, oh, with the Rams, we got a Super Bowl before you guys did. They did.
That's my point, and they're bad right now. And guess what? We would all
the Rams,
but they got the Super Bowl. You know
what I'm saying, what I meant by it, D Woods. What I meant is there is a section of this fan base that is desperately trying to not be bad, and that's their first priority, which fits exactly with what the Wilfs are.
I'm not there.
Hey, Willie Vassar, drop in the comments how you feel about the Trey Lance trade. Let us know.
Yeah, just
I guess
I don't mind them being bad.
Okay, well, you're few and far between them because there's a lot of people in this fan base
and
like are so afraid that
there is.
If we get rid of Kirk Cousins, we're going to be bad for 6, 7, 10 years.
Hey, Justin, at the end of the day, though, Justin, real talk.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with what you're saying about being bad to be good. I agree with that, but I have my opinion on how we should do it without being bad. Shit, whatever one happens first to get the Super Bowl, I'm happy with it. Like,
no, I
agree
agree with you.
You feel me? Like, I'm cool with that. I'm just not the ones that's like, we're a good team because we in the middle of the pack. No, we need to win a damn Super Bowl.
Yeah, we've got fans up here that are happy with that. That's unfortunately the problem. I'm not either.
I'm not.
They are so. It's just like you said, Tony. As long as we can beat the Packers, I mean, yeah. If I was 2-15 and my 2 wins were against the Packers, okay, I could live with that for a minute or two. But I ain't living with that for forever.
And you know how embarrassing that is because in the 70s, the Packers are terrible, right?
Right.
But maybe every once in a year, they would beat the Vikings. Guess what made their highlight reel? Beating the Vikings.
Yeah, that was their Super Bowl.
That was their Super Bowl.
That shouldn't be ours.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I guess what I'm saying, D Woods, is that in order for me to come around to getting on board with the idea, if you told me right now that after this season, after the 2023 season, we're not going to re-sign Kirk Cousins, we're going to trade Justin Jefferson, and we're going, I don't want to say tank or just bottom out. Yeah, I could live with that. But what I can't live with is we're going to trade Justin Jefferson and then extend Kirk Cousins so that we can continue to be in the middle. Hail to the no to that.
Here's what I want to see this year.
Justin.
Here's what I want to see this year, and I know it's going to happen. I want to see how KOC handles adversity.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't had any. I want to see how he handles it. He's going to have some
week. He's going to have some in week 2.
Yep.
He's going to have some in week 5 against Kansas City. He's going to have some in week 7.
This team, I mean, yeah, they probably will beat Tampa Bay and they probably will beat San Diego, or not San Diego, the Chargers. But there's no guarantee.
We still call them San Diego and LA. We still call them San Diego.
I'm still calling them San Diego.
They should never like my dad's a big Raider fan and he's pissed because he hates that the Chargers came back to LA and the Raiders didn't. Like,
I agree with him.
You want to know something though? When the Chargers first started, they started out in LA.
Yeah, that's what I said. The Chargers came back to LA and the Raiders didn't.
Well, the Raider. Here's the thing with Mark Davis. Mark Davis was going to be like his dad and go and be the Maverick and go where the money was. Mm-hmm. And once they opened up the gambling,
the Chargers can't even fill their stadium out here. It's a home game to every visiting team.
Well, and nobody's answered this question for me yet. Aren't the Chargers paying rent to the Rams because Kroenke built that stadium out of his own pocket?
Probably so.
I think so. You might be right.
Why the hell, as an NFL owner, would I want to pay rent to play in a stadium to another rival owner?
They shouldn't have stayed at Qualcomm. They shouldn't have stayed in San Diego, for real.
And San Diego was going to build up a stadium.
Yeah, they have no fans here.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for this season, but this is what I don't want. If the Vikings can be a good to very good team, that's my first choice. Obviously, that's all of our first choice. But if they're not a team that has a legitimate shot of getting to an NFC Championship game, I'd rather them just miss the playoffs. And some people call me a bad fan for that. Some people call me negative. And it's like, no. Because here's what I'm saying. People are just like, well, if the Vikings win a playoff game, they should probably extend one playoff game, and that's
How do
your
you
threshold.
think? How do you think Kirk got his other extension? He won a playoff game.
Like, set your standards higher. You got to get at minimum to the NFC Championship game before I'm even considering extending Kirk Cousins. Here's my point.
Yeah.
Let's say, well, here's my thresholds. If you miss the playoffs, Kirk, gone. Wildcard round loss, gone. Divisional round loss, gone. Get to the Super Bowl, I'll give you an extension. Win the Super Bowl, you can have a lifetime contract. I don't want to, but I'll just do it anyway. But if you get to the
statue at that point.
Exactly. You get to the NFC Championship game and lose, I'm kind of 50-50. Depends on how the game went, depends on how you play.
Yeah.
If you lose 41-0, gone. If you lose by 1 point and you drove the Vikings into field goal range and Greg Joseph missed a 35-yard field goal, okay, I'm not going to hold that against Kirk. But my point is that so many people, and this is what I meant about so many people being content in this fan base. Oh, if we win the division and we actually win our wild card round game, we need to sign Kirk Cousins for 3 more years. Like, seriously? Have some higher standards than that.
Justin, as long as we're better than Green Bay. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
That's like saying, hey, I got me this 5 and I'm going to keep this 5 because she's better than the 3s I used to be with. I mean, what kind of bullshit is that? But here's my point. People are just like, well, Justin, you're expecting too much of that. I'm like,
no,
why?
You're never
expectations.
You're never expecting too much out of your NFL team.
I'm a Laker fan, and we don't celebrate Western Conference titles.
Exactly.
Every year.
Oh, hell, we win a division. It's a party up in this bitch.
Every year for Laker fans, just making the playoffs, that doesn't mean nothing to us.
Exactly.
No, you went to the finals.
We need to go to the finals and win. That's what we need to do. Just showing up, we don't care about that. We don't.
And it used to be like that here. Even though we lost the Super Bowls, we're still going.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. It's like that standard for whatever, you know, the outcome sucked, obviously.
Right.
But it was a lot better than what the hell this fan base is celebrating now. It's terrible.
I had somebody come at me last week. They're just like, Justin, the NFC Championship game is not enough to automatically re-sign Cousins. You'd have to either win that game or it'd have to be a close game. Well, what else do you want from him? I don't know. Let's see. We was in the NFC Championship game in 2017, and we brought Kirk in as the final piece. Now, you can tell me all you want.
We didn't make the playoffs the next year.
Didn't even make the playoffs.
You can tell me all you want that it's not Kirk's fault that the Vikings build him to be the savior. That's all well and good. But getting back to the NFC Championship game this year, if they were to do that,
nice pickup, Baylor.
All that is getting us back to where we started with you, and I'm supposed to celebrate that?
By the way, I got a question for all y'all.
Yeah.
What's the one thing you're not hearing out of Washington fans?
We miss Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
And the Kirk Cousins stands will keep pointing out to you, look at all the quarterbacks that Washington's had since Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, and guess they're not complaining either.
And guess what? If they had kept Kirk Cousins, they'd have the same number of playoff appearances that they had in the 4 years without Kirk Cousins. Maybe one.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
So Justin, how do we get the fan base to start understanding this shit a little bit better?
Honestly,
You know what's funny though? Even if we were to lose, Minnesota ain't got nothing else going on because the Wild always lose, the Twins always lose, the Timberwolves always lose.
Used to be the Twins couldn't beat the Yankees. Now they can't beat the Astros in the playoffs.
Yeah,
but the Astros cheated anyway.
And the Wild, they get in that first round and they blow it, and the Wolves ain't even in consideration.
Yeah,
well, y'all
had the whole point.
Y'all had the links, right?
Show up.
Y'all had the links, right? Back in the day, the
links are the only ones that have won championships.
Not since 91. But that's the problem. This mediocrity thing, it permeates all Minnesota men's sports.
Yeah.
It's not just the Vikings. That's part of the reason, as somebody like me and Tony, who is in Minnesota, who roots for all the Minnesota teams, that's another reason why him and I are a little bit more jaded about this, is because you guys outstate whatever. You know, you have the Lakers.
Fans.
You got the Lakers. You got the motherfucking Lakers. If the Vikings don't do so, I got
Minneapolis
my Lakers.
Oh, by the way, D Woods, you're welcome for the Lakers.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So that's part of my other reason why it's just like, if they don't go on a serious run, I'd rather them just be terrible, because maybe that will finally get the Wilfs to say we got to go in a different direction. Because I tell you right now, if they won a wild card game, better than 50-50, that the Wilfs would say, oh, we made progress off last year, so we got to sign Kirk again.
This is what I wanted to ask you, Justin, and you too, Yogi. You guys know people that have connections. Has anybody told you anything about what's going on with the Wilfs as far as not willing to pay to put together a championship team?
Here's the problem with that. They're willing to spend the money. They're spending it in the wrong places. That's the thing. I don't want to come across as somebody who says the Wilfs won't spend money, like the Polads, for example. That's not true at all.
The Wilfs do spend money, but what they spend it on is
they're spending it in the wrong places. They spent it on defense during the Mike Zimmer era, because Mike Zimmer, when he first got here, he's one of Bill Parcells' guys, and the Wilfs love Bill Parcells because they were Giants.
They were season ticket holders for the Giants.
And so when Mike Zimmer says to him, we need to get all these defensive players, okay, here you go, whatever you want, Mike, you're one of Bill's guys, and we love talking and yucking it up with Bill. The problem with the Wilfs is they said, all right, we're going to get Cousins in here, and we're going to get stability at the quarterback position. And their mistake as an organization was thinking that defense off of 2017 was going to be able to be maintained for 2, 3, 4 more years. And
they had already got old and broke down.
See, their window was 2015 to 2019. They thought their window was going to be 2018 to 2021.
Yeah.
So as far as money goes, the Wilfs spend almost up to the cap every year. They're just not spending it in the right places. That's their biggest problem.
And plus,
so to answer your question, what's it going to take for this fan base? At some point, I don't know, because the Wilfs make a profit every year. Why would they change their business model?
Not only are they making a profit, guess what? They own all that land at TCO. Mm-hmm. They own those parking ramps that people are parking in. They own that park across the street. They've got money up the wazoo. They're making a ton of money, just not outside of the football team. They're making a ton of money. Plus, they've got interest in that soccer team.
They just bought that soccer team. Yep.
So they're not hurting, but it's just, and I've heard this, there's just so many, from what I'm hearing, is they're kind of making sure people don't put anything negative out there.
That's my point.
People are losing.
I made this point.
Yeah, people are losing their jobs now because it got out about, I'll say it, Judd Zolgad put the thing out there about TJ Hawkinson. And they did I don't know what they did a search around there to find out who it was, and they got canned.
Really?
I mean, it was obvious he was.
They got canned, but we knew it. But here's the thing:
that was obvious, man.
But
they wanted to fire them guys.
But the fact was that a local newspaper guy got hold of it, and it was Judd, and he's on Score North, so he's not Duckies and Bunnies. He's actually kind of like us. So once he got hold of it, the alarms went off. It wasn't like it was Paul Allen or Ron Johnson or any of those guys. It was
oh gosh.
Yeah, but aren't those guys paid by the Vikings like Paul Allen anyway?
They're paid. Oh, Paul Allen's the biggest dude.
Yeah, so they're not going to say anything bad about the Vikings because that's where they get their paycheck.
No, like I said before, I told you guys before, he got into a shouting match. He got in an on-air argument with Mike Florio over Cousins. It was
like I said,
it was embarrassing.
The biggest problem with the Wilfs isn't that they don't spend money. It's they are more concerned about not being bad than they. Of course, they want to win a Super Bowl. Of course, they do. But that's not their number one priority. That's their number two priority.
D Woods took off the hat. He's ready to go. You know, he's got that heat coming down. He's ready. He's about to spit some. He's about to spit that fire.
Hey, Yogi.
What up, Big Zo?
I get out of here, man. I'm gonna get on you tomorrow at 3:50, right?
Don't be auto picking those.
Yeah, 3:50 your time, 2:50 my time. Yep. You're gonna get that ass.
That's the first draft, right?
Yeah, that's the first draft.
I'm staying out of it. I ain't got no time for no fantasy drafts. I had somebody text me today. Are you gonna be available? I'm like, available for what? I told you 2 years ago I was done with it. He's like,
I don't usually do it either, but Yogi
no,
talked
this is
me
what this
into
guy
it,
tells
so-
me. This is what my guy tells me. He's just like, well, you played last year. I'm like, no, I didn't. I told you 2 years ago. That was my last year. And then he sends me this email. Apparently, I did play, but I didn't play. And I got like fourth place with an auto draft and never once making a move.
Yeah, the draft at 3:50 tomorrow. Everybody tap in with us, man.
Oh,
We
for
go
sure.
live.
There you go.
Y'all gonna see me pick that dog ass team, man. I gotta get out of here though, man. I see you
100%.
tomorrow though.
Detroit Lions.
All right, Zo.
All right, Big Zo.
There you go.
To answer his question, what's it going to take for this fan base? I don't know. A couple more. Here's what it will take. Because some of the fan base is starting to come around to say we're sick of being in the middle and we're okay with being bad for a year or two if we have to. But that's still a small minority. Now that minority is growing, but what's it going to take? It's going to take people not showing up and
They're going to
giving
have
food to the wolves.
They're going to have to stop buying tickets,
Yeah, you have.
And I don't think that will happen.
and that won't
It
happen.
won't
Unfortunately, it won't happen.
Maybe
Whether
until the
we
Will
win or
Smith is my.
lose, people are going to show up to the
Yeah.
game.
And
Yep.
that's what I would sit down to the Wills and I would say, hey, don't be afraid of being bad. They're afraid that if they're bad, that they're going to lose people. You
By the
might
way,
lose a couple people here or there, and there'll be another person to take their spot. So don't worry about it.
By the way, Sarah, Paul Allen annoys everybody. He annoys everybody.
I wish I could see. You know what? Let me see if I can put this chat up here. Yeah, but now you guys.
Yeah, Paul Allen
Oh,
annoys everybody.
There's still a group of people that like what Paul Allen feeds, which is Ducky and Bunny, rainbows
Ducky
and
bunnies
butterflies.
and rainbows and butterflies. Yeah.
You know, like I said, when I was 21, I ate that up because that's what I liked.
It was
after a
different.
while,
It was different.
because at that point, it was the 98, 99, 2000 run. I didn't know any better. It was just, hey, whatever. Now it's like, I can't imagine, like, you know, I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole here, but like, I couldn't imagine doing content the way PA does or the way that Andy from Purple Moon does. It's just like, I feel like I'd be lying to myself, and I feel like I'd be lying to my listeners. It's like, yeah, I don't want to come across as negative. I want to come across as realistic, and I do my best to try to be realistic about it. I'm just as passionate as any other. I'm 10 times more passionate about the Vikings than Paul Allen will ever be.
Oh,
and I'm
God,
not saying
yes.
that to be mean. I'm saying that to be.
That's the truth.
I've been here 44 years. I have cried. I cried the night of the NFC Championship game lost to Atlanta. Paul Allen, you're passionate and you say all these things, but that's because it's your job to.
Talking about crying, I cried when this team cut Alan Page. You know how we found out about it? They
back
put a
in those
scroll
days?
down on the TV. It was during the World Series, and it was talk that they were going to trade him or whatever. And sure enough, in the middle of the first inning, the Vikings have placed Alan Page on waivers, and I'm like, he's actually gone. And that was my idol. I cried my eyes out, and it was something here, especially with the Black community, because he was a big guy here, and then all of a sudden he was gone. Him, Eller, and Marshall were like the Black community in Minneapolis.
Absolutely.
And when one of them went, it was kind of the domino effect, because then Eller went, and then Marshall retired.
I want to go back to a comment that Gary had, and I'm sorry that I haven't kept up with it because I'm on my phone right now, not my computer, so I couldn't see it. But when he says thoughts on going on a total rebuild, you can do you don't have to be total rebuild. You can. The problem is that right now the Vikings are on like a minuscule rebuild.
We're on competitive rebuild,
which is the worst thing you can do. Which
Yep.
the worst thing you can do. Again, I've used the analogy of paying off your credit card bill. Let's say you got a $10,000 balance, but you still want to live the lifestyle that you've been living. So instead of taking 1 year and living poor, or 2 years and living poor so that you can pay off all your debts, you try to maintain your lifestyle. Well, guess what? Now you're going to be paying off that credit card bill for 7 years as opposed to paying it off in 1 year or 2 year. And that's what I mean about taking a step back. Take a step back, pay off your bills, and then live on the hog again. But the Wills don't want to do that.
But to D
But
Wood's
I would
point,
do it. I would do it.
to D Wood's point, if we're going to do a credit card analogy, we're about to be spending. We're about to max out our credit card
with Justin Jefferson.
With Justin Jefferson, to where we might have to go, hey, I really want this shiny Mercedes, but I can't afford it right now.
Well, I guess the only thing that
let me give it back to the dealership, which is
the only thing that
another
D-Will's
team,
point.
and they're going to give me my credit back, and I'm going to have to build up with that credit to get my team where it needs to be.
And see, there's a lot of ifs all around. Period.
And the only if I'm going to say is if I'm going to tear it down to the studs, I'm gonna get rid of anybody that is not named Darisaw, O'Neal, and Justin Jefferson. And at that point, if I've gotten rid of everybody else that's expensive or older, and I still at that point want to trade JJ, okay, I'll consider at that point. But I'm not starting with Justin Jefferson. I'm ending with Justin Jefferson, if that makes sense. Like
It makes sense.
Yeah.
To me, it's like all this conversation about how we can get a franchise quarterback has always started with Justin. And I get it because he is the most valuable asset. He can get the most in return. But what I'm saying is, no. You got to tell me Kirk out the door first. And then you got to tell me Danielle Hunter out the door so that we're not paying him and all these other guys.
Here's my thing too. This is my thing too, and this has been said way too much. People throw around that whole franchise quarterback thing like it's you need it. Like you just got to draft a franchise quarterback. Half the quarterbacks don't work. Every now and then you find one that works. If you can find, like I said before, if you can find a quarterback that works in your game plan, like Stafford did with the Rams,
right?
You know, you don't have to spend maybe a lot of draft capital or whatever.
See, you know, that brings up another good point. Here's what I'll say. If people want to say, why you want to get rid of Kirk Cousins? He's a top 10 quarterback. You can't just find a top 10 quarterback. I said a top 10 quarterback in and of itself isn't the end all be all. If you have to pay market value to get top 10 production, you're behind. What the point of trying to go younger, like let's just say for the sake of conversation that you went with Jaren Hall next year and he was a top 15 quarterback. Okay, a top 10 quarterback making 45 million or a top 15 quarterback making 1 million.
I'm taking the one making 1 million straight up.
Exactly. But some people get so hung up. Some people get so hung up on, well, Kirk is top 10 and you're not going to replace him with something better. Therefore, the best option is to keep him. No,
it's not.
What I've noticed too, Justin and Tony and Yogi, some of these fans, they don't know how to separate fantasy from regular football.
Yeah.
And many of them don't really know football.
They don't. And it's like just because Kirk Cousins is getting you some fantasy numbers or whatever, they actually think like, oh my God, he's the best quarterback because he's helping you win your fantasy league. But he ain't really equating in real football.
And here's the thing, and you already had a sample size of what Kirk was his first year with this team. You knew. You saw it. If you don't remember, look at the Seattle tape. Look at the Bears game. There's a couple of others where, you know, when you got a player mic'd and he's calling out the opponent talking about he's scared, that ain't your court. That's no. I'm sorry.
so Justin, would you rather the approach if Kwesi would have came in here and, you know, got a draft pick for Harrison Smith, got a draft pick for Danielle Hunter, got a draft pick for Adam Thielen? That would have then combined all those draft picks and let Kirk Cousins walk last year, whatever, and then traded up and identified a quarterback, whatever you wanted to do, and then you would have been able not kicking this can down the road with so much money with all these void years that we still have to pay. And
100%.
Okay.
I'll put it to you this way. When we signed Kirk Cousins, I endorsed the move. I said, you know what?
I did too. The first time, not the re-sign, not the extension. The first time.
after that first season when they went 8-7-1 and Kirk's in front of the podium. Oh gosh, yeah. Well, we did some good things this year, motherfucker. We just came off an NFC Championship game, and now you made us miss the playoffs. What the fuck? Good things did we do? None. And then
we were supposed to go to the Super Bowl that year.
Yep, that's my feelings exactly.
But the thing about the Kirk Cousins signing, I agree with it because I felt like, yeah, maybe we are one quarterback away, but after the 3 years, they should have never gave him that extension.
Here's the deal.
I got one, Tony. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So then the next year, when they walked off the field against San Francisco in the divisional round, which was Diggs' last game, because we traded Diggs right after that. I said right then and there, this group has gone as far as it can go. They should trade. They sold us on Kirk, and they gave him a bucket load of money, but they sold us on if after it's only 3 years, so we have an out, and then they didn't take the out. I didn't mind the signing. It was the extension, the first extension, and then. And you can ask Mike Castellino this because that's who I started doing podcasts with before I started doing my own thing. At the end of the Zimmer era that year, so that would have been the end of 2021, I said, you have to get rid of Zimmer, you have to get rid of Spielman, and you have to get rid of Cousins. Getting rid of 2 out of the 3, whichever 2 of the 3 you want. Let's say you got rid of Zimmer, but you kept Spielman and got rid of Cousins. I would have said no. I said don't. Y'all seen Breaking Bad, that speech that Mike gives Walter, don't take half measures because half measures never work.
Yes.
They took a half measure by not clearing out all 3 pillars. You have to get rid of the coach, the GM, and the quarterback. And you could have gotten at least a first, if not 2 firsts, or maybe a first and a third for Kirk if you had traded him right when you hired KOC. Yeah. And I said the worst possible thing that can happen is that they keep Kirk Cousins and they just keep trying to keep this window open, and that they have 2 mediocre years and then blow it up, because then you would have just wasted 2 years of Justin Jefferson's rookie contract. And what have we seen? What are all the indications? That they were a mediocre team last year. They overachieved in the regular season, but at the end of the day, they still ended up being mediocre.
Still ended up being who they were.
Yep. Mateo, yeah, Justin, we always talked about getting rid of the pillar. Yes, Mateo, you were right there with me and Mike in those spaces. And as much fun as last year was, and then I'll let you go. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem.
As much fun as last year was, it was a waste of time. It was fun. I took my daughter to the Indianapolis Colts game. That was the first game I ever took her to before. Today was the second one, and I'll never forget that comeback, and it was great. But for the long-term viability, when they hired KOC, I said, trade Cousins, trade Harrison Smith, trade Adam Thielen. And it's because, again, a coach gets a honeymoon period for the first 2 years. They're expected to be bad. Now, when you start winning in year 1, your honeymoon period is gone.
Yeah.
Anyway,
his honeymoon's done. No, I
agree, Gary. I agree. I am well aware that the reason they didn't make those moves is because the Wills forced it. Absolutely. Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry, Tony. You go.
But I was going to say I was okay with the Cousins signing.
Yeah.
Not the guaranteed money.
That I didn't even mind that because I didn't mind.
It was only 3 years.
Because it was only 3 years and they had an out.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it.
San Francisco would have taken him after 2019 when Garoppolo failed to win the Super Bowl against Mahomes. They would have given up a first at minimum.
Yeah.
They would have.
Yep. Shanahan still wants him, I think.
And you want to know what's funny about it? We extended Kirk Cousins because he got us a playoff win. What did we do in 2020? 7-9. 2021, 8-9.
Went right back to the middle of the road. Went right back to it.
I'm sorry, people, if you think I'm negative.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
You know what, Justin? I agree with you. I agree with both of you guys on the situation. It's just, hey, when are they going to pull the trigger on something?
Well, and see, like with
their mindset changes.
Yeah, with me and Justin, as a fan, you have to say enough's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as my dad used to say, either shit or get off the pod.
Right.
And we've been in this Minnesota mediocre for so long. It's now Minnesota. That's just Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's willing to break it. Not even the Vikings. But the Vikings have set the standard. Yeah. So they've got to do something just to you got to prove to me that you are all in on a championship, and you're not doing that, especially when you don't upgrade that offensive line and you want to keep the same immobile quarterback because he puts up good yardage numbers
And puts butts in the seats.
and puts butts in the seats. He sells jerseys. He's on commercials and TV shows. This is who you want to roll with, but then you don't give him the ad to protect him, so he'll probably end up on a stretcher.
And
You know,
and that's the thing though with Kirk though, like he's been so durable his whole career. It's only a matter of time before he
and you know what though? At his age, you hit a wall at any time.
Yeah, exactly. It's only a matter of time to when you can't recover like you used to. But maybe that might be a silver lining because then we lose.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless
you heard me say that. Okay.
Well, I was gonna say, unless all of a sudden what we saw today in Hall actually works with the first team, we'll never know because he had backups.
Right.
You know, you never know. That there could be the guy could be.
But if that happens though,
You know?
Tony, if Kirk Cousins goes down and Jaren Hall keeps the team afloat and it's a still 8-win team, there's no need for Kirk Cousins anymore at that point.
Exactly.
There's no need
for Kirk Cousins.
There's no need for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Justin said, there's no need for Kirk Cousins regardless.
And it goes back to what Justin was saying too. Like you're gonna Jordan Howard's only making like what a million or so, and he's not even that, right? And he's giving us what Kirk Cousins the same amount of wins. You have to let him go at that point.
You know why?
Or even just a couple less.
Because look who the 49ers got. Right now, if we were to play the 49ers, do you think the 49ers would win?
Yes.
Yes.
Don't even finish. Yes.
You know why? Because of their
offensive
offensive line, and defensive line.
Yep.
That's why me personally, I think the only two pillars that are non-negotiables, not on the trade market, are Darisaw and O'Neal.
Yep.
Everybody,
and I'm gonna reserve O'Neal until I see him play coming back.
Well,
Yes.
But it's the idea.
It's the idea. Yeah, your pillars are your tackles.
Those tackles, but everybody else
expendable. They can trade them.
Expendable, because then you build your D line, your O line. Because then whatever quarterback you have back there,
plug and play, baby.
You only need a top 15 quarterback at that point.
Yep. Then
and
you
a top
focus
15
on all the toppings. Yep. Then you focus on the pepperoni and the sausage and stuff like that. But if your dough is runny,
damn, Yogi, you gonna make me put a pizza in the oven right now? Damn, dude.
Well, that's what we talked about a minute ago.
Justin might use like credit and money and I'm all about food. But I mean, Gary, that's what I was saying. We need to do. We gotta change focus. Boom. Our bookends, work inside, defensive line, then start getting the cherry pieces. And what I would say for Kwesi, I'm okay with he's got to find that fine line of money balling, but spending money.
Yes.
He's got to spend it in the right spots.
He's got to spend it in the right spots.
Spend it in the right spots. He's got to find the free agents, but not sign them to big deals. But if a Jalen Ramsey, just an example, you find a player like him, 1 to 2 year deal, and keeping those windows short to where, hey, let's make something happen. Boom, 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 boom. Then in the draft, you just BPA.
Well, here's the thing now. It's Kwesi. Here's the deal. Kwesi and KOC are now on the clock. They only got 2 years left.
Yeah.
They only signed 4-year deals.
Yeah. Well, 2 after this year. Okay. Yeah.
Four altogether.
You know, and if they tank this year, holy crap.
And that's my point. They can't even tank this year if they wanted to.
Because they got to build on the year they had last year.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
They put the worst thing that KOC could have did was win 13 games.
That was what you said, Jake Justin. The honeymoon period. They don't have one
anymore.
Killed
your honeymoon period. You know, y'all remember the movie White Men Can't Jump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember what what was Rosie's Perez character? Gloria. Gloria's telling Billy this. She says to him, sometimes when you win, you really lose, and sometimes when you lose, you really win, and sometimes when you win or lose, you tie, and sometimes when you tie, you really run or lose, right? And she's saying, like, yeah, sometimes you're winning, but sometimes in the long run, you're losing.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're losing, but in the long term, you're winning. And, you know, she's trying to say to him, yeah, you were winning all these games, but at the end of the day, Sydney was hustling you. He was playing the long game the whole time.
The whole time.
And Billy's like, I can't stand when you talk that way. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm never going to be upset for winning a playoff game. But let's call it for what it is. Winning that playoff game in New Orleans extended this circle for 2 more years, and we did nothing with it.
I think they would have did it anyway.
No, if they had lost that New Orleans game, Zimmer was fired, and Stefanski would have been the head coach. That is a fact.
Yeah, that's true. They love Stefanski. They were in love with Stefanski.
And what pissed me off, because I was happy that they won the playoff game. I really was. But when they come out that next Monday and say we've extended Mike Zimmer, I'm like, you dumbasses.
I wasn't proud of that either.
Has a coach ever been fired after winning the playoff game? Or like, you know, going to the playoff and
winning Bum Phillips.
Last year we knocked on the door.
Yeah. Yeah, this year we're
last
not.
Year, no,
last year we knocked.
Last year we got to 2 years ago we got to the door. Last year we knocked on the door, and this year we're gonna kick to someone with big chin.
Yeah. And then he went to Oakland, lost to the Raiders, and got fired.
Off with your head. Yeah. Off with your head.
Well, but no, all right, guys, I'm about to check out on y'all, man.
All right, so am I.
Hey, D Woods.
Hey, you know, it's much appreciated getting on here with y'all, man.
Always, it's fun, man.
All right.
I was a huge fan of the Wilson.
Hey, Yogi, order me a pizza, man.
Yogi, run to the concession stand and get me something to eat, man.
Yeah, you go bring.
This dude had guys buying him food and beer at the game. I was like, dang.
I know. I missed you guys today.
I know. I was actually, because my dad was just like, so, you know, does Yogi appear? And that's like, Yogi and I have done a show together, but he's got his own channel and he does stuff on Purple and Skull. So I actually played the episode from 2 weeks ago after the Seattle game for him on the ride home. He's just like, this show's totally different than what you do. I'm like, oh yeah, this is Brothers at the Barbershop.
Yeah, this is
podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, how often do you go on with them? I'm just like, well, I never say I'm going to go on. I just show up, you know. Yeah, I see the guys have been chatting at the barbershop for 2 hours. I say, all right, let me get my hair done real quick. Which is ironic for me, but, you know.
Yeah.
But no, I was going to say this to D-Will before he left. I've given you the analogy. The Vikings they're dating. Kirk Cousins is a 6. He's a solid 6 kind of gal, okay? And the Vikings at the quarterback position in the Wilf era, other than the 1 year with Favre, which was dating an old 8, not a young 8. They've been dating.
You're basically dating a cougar.
Yeah, exactly.
You're dating a cougar.
But you know, they've been dating the low end 3s and 4s, and they're afraid if they get rid of their 6 that they're going to end up with another 3 or 4, and they don't see the inherent value of maybe if you got rid of your 6 and you started dating a 4.5, that she would blossom into a 7.
Right.
They're trying to go from a 6 to an 8 without having to go backwards to the 4 and letting her grow into herself, so to speak.
Yeah, that's true.
And for all the ladies, and I know Sarah and I, hey, I'm not trying to be okay. We could do this analogy with dudes too. I'm just not going to say them both. So let's not turn this into look at he's talking down about dating female. I'm just using the analogy.
But we about to wrap up. I just got a call from the wife. She wants me to get to the bar before bar close. So I'm gonna go run to the bar and get a couple drinks. But
hey,
oh Jesus! Hey, Yogi, where are you living at now? Where you staying?
Maplewood.
Oh, you're where I used to live in Maplewood.
Yup.
So did I. Way
St. Paul.
back.
I'm a St. Paul heart and soul. That's
Yep,
what
about
city.
to go to Jimmy's right now.
Oh God, I know that place. I thought you was gonna say bleachers or something.
Hey, everybody
they
that's
were
still
just
in the-
at bleachers. That's where we were at last night.
Is
Oh
that right?
Jesus. Oh my God.
Hey, everybody that's in the chat still, thank you so much for supporting my boy Yogi. Check out my channel tomorrow morning. I'm gonna drop my review. Come hit me up 8 o'clock on Monday on Purple and Gopher Days for Skulfer Days. JJ Vikes will be joining me about a half an hour into the show. I'm gonna do my opening half hour before I bring him on. But hit me up on the channel. Thank you everybody that's helped me get up to 700 and many, many more. Let's keep this rolling.
I just want to say I'm gonna do my take tomorrow morning, and I will post it in Yogi's page. I will also post it on Facebook on my page too. So I will have a very interesting take on what I saw today at the game.
I like what I saw from Jaren Hall today. I really did.
I did.
And again, not to give away too much of what my video is going to say, because I need y'all to come back and watch the thing and hit them like buttons. But he should be the backup quarterback.
Yes.
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 He should be the backup quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. No questions asked.
He's got way more pocket awareness than both Mullins and Cousins.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not saying he's better than Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins has got a higher floor, but Jaren Hall's got a higher ceiling. And I get it. What the Vikings, they're going to play it safe. And if Kirk was out for a game,
you know what though,
Mullins
could be the surprise cut.
Oh, I'd love it.
I
don't mean that disparagingly towards Nick. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you're like, yeah, that's who we need as the number 2.
And I agree with you, Mateo. It was good to see Jay Ward make some plays today. It was absolutely good to see Jay.
You know, there was another guy out there kind of making plays too. Was Andre Carter?
Mm-hmm. He needed it.
Yeah, he needed it.
Doing nothing.
Roy looked good from LSU. He did look good. He did.
Real quick, what do y'all think of Tristan Jackson? Do you think he makes the team? Because I think he should. And honestly, I know we've got some infatuation with Jalen Naylor, but I think Tristan Jackson.
You know what? Jalen Naylor would be history. I'd take Jackson. Just for the fact that Jackson's been on the field and Naylor's been in the training room and hurt more than anything.
Put Naylor on the practice squad for now.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, nobody's going to pick up Naylor. Thank you, Too Evil. Yes, Jared Mahomes Hall. I love it. I loved it from the second he said it. I mean, again, he's raw, but even though he was past the line of scrimmage, that last throw he had, dude, like, okay.
And you know what? It looked like KOC took the reins off and let him be him.
I'm not saying that.
Other people were calling the plays.
Wasn't Phillips calling the plays today?
Yep.
That's what you guys said earlier. I'll say this. I'm not saying that he would do as well in the full KOC offense as Cousins right now, but there's things that he can do that Kirk can't do, which is, you know what? He's not going to be as accurate, and he's not going to throw that ball to JJ in Buffalo. Okay, we all know that, but he's also not going to be stuck.
He's not going to be stuck in the pocket, and he's not going to be taking sacks.
He took 6 sacks today, but did you see that one where the guard didn't even block the defense?
Dude, he just watched him go by.
I mean, he literally didn't even touch it. I'm like, oh my God.
And then the one where the guy came off the edge, my God, the tackle. I'm like, why did you just made it look like you were blocking him? It was just, I felt, it's like, if he's behind a Darasol or an O'Neal, he's much better. And he can move around. But the fact
I'll say it right now, if Kirk went down for a game or two, they would go with Mullins because he has a higher floor. But if Kirk, knock on wood, because, whatever we say about Kirk, he's our guy and we want him to see. If Kirk had like a season-ending injury, you don't put Nick Mullins in. You put Jaren Hall in. And you just roll with it.
Yeah.
Because the best case scenario for the Vikings with all this Kirk Cousins talk, the best case scenario is that Jaren Hall is ready to at least be thrown out there next year, and then it takes care of itself.
Exactly.
And then you still got JJ and Addison and Hawkinson, and you don't have to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about it.
Trade.
You don't have to worry about it.
I'm out. Get the fuck out.
I'm out, Justin. I'm out, Yogi. You guys have a good one.
You as well. Yogi, you don't have to hit the button. I don't have control. We are out. Hit the button.
All right, I had to get dressed.
I know you're scared. Yeah, I do too. Yeah, if I were you. I know you're scared. I do too. If I were you.